5, 4, 3, 2, 1. We have ignition. Strap in. You're about to listen to the hottest sounds in the mix. In the mix.
It's time to turn the lights down and crank the music up. Let's get this Sunday night party started.
Attention.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen.
All systems are go.
Check this out.
It's
Party time.
Welcome to the show.
We got a great show tonight.
It's showtime.
Okay, let's party.
Come on, baby.
Let this boogie.
Y'all ready?
Let's go nuts.
All right.
It's about time we rock it.
Here we go.
Now, without further ado, here comes tonight's entertainment.
Welcome to the biggest show on earth. Hurry, 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 ladies and gentlemen and children. I'm your Green Master, and I promise you the greatest time of your life. Thrills galore, the strangest freaks, the highest acrobats, and the funniest clowns.
Prepare for stimulation.
Here comes the music.
Nosotros somos los Felas y están escuchando Picante Time con DJ Eric en la mezcla y DJ Cruz solamente en InTheMixRadio.com. Los Felas.
Los Felas, Cano, Picante Time, InTheMixRadio.com, DJ Eric, DJ Cruz, Los Felas. Vamos a pasarnos de la raya, Picante Time no falla, lo escucho donde vaya, DJ Eric, DJ Cruz no fallan, un domingo en locura, pégate a la aventura, todo cambiará cuando termine el día, de cosas que no sabías. Radio.com, lo mejor en Picante Time. DJ Cruz y DJ Eric, el mejor show de la radio para gozarte los domingos. InTheMixRadio.com, Picante Time, Los Felas, DH, Cano, todos los domingos a las 8:30 en InTheMixRadio.com. DJ Eric, DJ Cruz, Los Felas.
How you doing? This is Big Tom. I'm at Dunkin' Donuts right now. I'd rather be at Picante Time with the three Mahoneys, the Sissy Mary Eric, the Flower of the Fat Broads, the Fag Patrick Shannon. We love them all, the little fags. You all have a nice night now and enjoy the show. See you next week. Bye-bye now.
In the mix worldwide.
The little fags.
Bueno, y ahora tenemos el artista salsero de la semana, Decoy, featuring Marlon, y el nombre de la canción, Rumba.
Listo, muchachos. 2 y 4. Digo, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4.
Esa morenita sí que baila, donde está la pista siempre tráela, tiene una sonrisa muy simpática, para sacarla tiene que haber práctica. Rumba sí, el paso acelera, mientras que la orquesta zumba, rumba sa, cambia tu pareja, si te da una vuelta atrás.
Echa pa' acá que llegó el de la rumba. We gon' work it out like we doing Zumba. Patacón que pisamos más retumba, como el rap en el bajo de bombas. No se desesperen, si no el paso mueve los enseres. Con un negrito body de Cuba una serie. Ya tenemos todas las fichas, vamos a amarlo. Rumba lo mío con Marlon.
Esa morenita sí que baila, donde está la pista siempre tráela, tiene una sonrisa muy simpática, para sacarla tiene que haber práctica. Rumba sí, el paso acelera, mientras que la orquesta zumba, rumba sa, cambia tu pareja, si te da una vuelta atrás. Rumba sí, el paso acelera, mientras que la orquesta zumba, rumba sa,
para el artista merenguero de la semana, el hombre con la voz más dulce del merengue, Rabel, con el tema nuevo del Boom Boom Boom.
Cómo cambia la vida, es más de conocer y menos poesía, que a veces cosas pasan que quién lo diría, que no existen romances ni palabrerías, que nada del amor ni de esas tonterías, y mira de repente dulce amiga mía, que vienes y me miras dulcemente tú, que miro en esos ojos y se hace la luz, que vienes y me abrazas y me entregas toda el alma. Y mira de repente ahora donde estoy, entregándolo todo, diciéndote amor, dejando ahí en tus manos que tú escojas todo lo que diga, todo lo que haga. Tan fuerte como irrumpe la naturaleza, tu amor se me ha subido todo en mi cabeza, y viene y me golpea aquí en el corazón, que es boom, 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 teniéndote conmigo siento que he cruzado la línea que nos une en un pacto sagrado, y siento que golpeas en el corazón, diciendo boom, 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 de dulce y de princesa vienes disfrazada, sabiendo cómo actúo en cada jugada, tomándome y llevándome la delantera. Y mira que me río a pura carcajada, que dices que de mí no estás enamorada, sabiendo que en el fondo nos pertenecemos. Tan fuerte como irrumpe la naturaleza, tu amor se me ha subido todo en mi cabeza, y viene y me golpea aquí en el corazón, que boom, 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 teniéndote conmigo siento que he cruzado la línea que nos une en un pacto sagrado, y siento que golpeas en el corazón, diciendo boom, 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 boom. Oye, negrita, que boom, boom, boom me ha dejado, mamá. Tan fuerte, mi corazón golpeando boom, 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 oh, en el corazón, que boom, 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 boom. Tan fuerte, mi corazón golpeando boom, boom, oh, pacto sagrado, que boom, 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 boom.
Bueno, y ahora para el artista bachatero de la semana, the artist of the week for bachata, our very own, the human jar mayonnaise, the human cloud. He is the one and the only, the notorious P.A.T., Patrick Patman Shannon with Como Pudiste. How could you?
Oye, mujer, después de tantos años juntos, yo no entiendo. ¿Cómo pudiste hacerme creer que tus besos encontraban una sincero, jugaste con mis sentimientos. Oh, y como siempre, soy yo, Patrick Shannon. ¿Quién iba a pensar que no me querías? ¿Quién iba a encontrar gozando la vida? Tú sabes, mi amor, yo no le esperaba más. Nunca imaginé que con otro me ibas a engañar. ¿Cómo pudiste hacerme creer que tus besos encontraban un amor sincero? Jugaste con mis sentimientos. Oh, ¿cómo pudiste hacer el amor con otro después de aquellos bellos momentos que vivimos tú y yo? Nunca imaginé que con otro me ibas a engañar. Soy yo con amor y sentimiento, Patrick Shannon. ¿Cómo pudiste hacerme creer que tus besos encontraban un amor sincero? Jugaste con mis sentimientos. Oh, ¿cómo pudiste hacer el amor con otro después de aquellos bellos momentos que vivimos tú y yo? Nunca imaginé que con otro me ibas a engañar. No, nunca imaginé que con otro me ibas a engañar.
Bueno. This is Picante Time, mejor conocido como el vacilón de la noche, right here on InTheMixRadio.com. And as always, unless I know any different, my name is DJ Eric La Mezcla, and I'm about ready to introduce one of the co-hosts of the show. He is el hombre del moñito, el hombre del bigote. He is none other than the one and the only Roman S. the Funny Latino.
Chacho, bro, what's going on, everybody? New York City, what's up? El mundo entero. You're listening to Picante Times with DJ Eric en la Mezcla.
Yo.
And I'm super excited. You know why?
Dime por qué.
Because Patrick Shannon is not here.
What?
No.
That is foul.
We don't have to get into it. We just heard his song, and that's good. I'm happy.
Uh-huh.
His song. We don't have to get into any of his,
Okay.
military stories.
Oh, damn. That's
about
kind of
his
foul.
drill sergeant drilling his face.
Al diablo, for real?
I still got to get over that.
Oh, no.
But mad love to you, Patty, wherever you're at. We just heard your song. I love Irish bachata.
Well, you know what? It's funny that you say that because Fag Boy's father, Big Gay Tom Connolly, is in the chat room.
Really?
Yeah, that's right.
Shout out.
So, why don't we go through the roll call real quickly?
But before that, you know what? I want to give a shout out to everybody who has the In the Mix Radio app.
That's right.
And if you don't have it, all right, you cheap lame asses, get it. It's a free app. Get it in your app store or app play, and that's In the Mix Radio, the app. Get it so you can listen to InTheMixRadio.com, and you can listen to all the shows, part of the the amazing roster of shows that we have here. With Picante Times definitely being on top of that list.
There
So
you
get
go.
that app. Now, going into the roll call. we have, very first and foremost, we have my favorite DJ. After God, this guy is the one that controls the music
quién será?
let into my soul. And that's DJ Eric en La Mezcla.
There you go.
We got to have a big shout out for Tom Connolly. I hope it's really Tom and not Pat trying to just snoop
Oh,
in
no,
and
no,
see what
no.
we really
It's
think of him.
believe me, it's actually, his poppy.
Well, Tom, and anything that you want me to out your son on, please do text me. I'll send you the information via inbox. And if there's anything you need me to address, I will address it.
And as always, the number to reach us here at the studio is
914-969-MIX. That's 914-969-6499. En español, Eric?
914-969-6499. That's 914-969-MIXX, otherwise known as 6499. Now, if we would have added another X, it would be a pornographic movie, but, that's how it goes. Ladies and gentlemen, he is joining us here, our very own special guest, the one and the only, el pianista de pianista, el artista de los artistas, the one and the only, Ricky Gonzalez. I think you're doing just fine, buddy.
Yeah. Well, how are you guys doing?
Oh, no.
How did I find myself in the mix on a Sunday afternoon?
Because you're always in the mix.
They're saying we sound low. They're saying in the chat room, I'm sorry, they're saying that we sound low. Thank you, Nasava.
Dile ahora. Well, if anything, I need for you to talk into the microphone.
Oh, sure. Are we checking the mic?
Well, no, we here in the studio, we could hear it just fine. It's out there for them.
I see.
Ahora él tiene la voz del
hombre,
locutor.
sí.
Vaya. Sí, ahora...
Una vocecita de esa de...
No como así.
No, tampoco así.
See, you're lucky Pat is not here, because they would be going back and forth 20 minutes on their, freaking their bird cage calls.
Mira, Roman.
Yes.
¡Viejo cabrón!
Okay. All right. Eso te lo
we sound better
mereciste.
now. We sound better now. Is what this
There you go.
Thank you.
You're
Sorry, it was the beans.
I thought it was the White Castle. Ricky, dime, ¿cómo estás?
Muy bien. Gracias a Dios me siento aquí en familia contigo, Eric, y con Roman.
Yeah.
Bueno, hizo falta Pat.
Yeah.
Me dicen.
Yeah.
No vino hoy.
Well, he knew that you were coming and he felt intimidated.
The shillelagh. I'm
No,
trying to come up with some Irish terms.
What it was is that he couldn't find his skirt, otherwise known as his kilt. There you go, the kilt.
That's Scottish.
Well,
but whatever.
He wears the mini skirt anyway. That's all. It doesn't matter.
He wears a different kind of skirt. Shout out to Patrick.
Yeah. So entonces dime, how have you been? What have you been up to?
Good. Good. Been very, very busy. We've been. I've been touring with Mark Anthony for most of the year. We have a few days off, and then we're back out on Thursday. This Thursday, we're going to Santo Domingo, mi tierra. And in the meantime, I'm producing. I have 4 productions right now. I'm juggling, trying to get things done on my off time.
And of the 4 productions, one of them happens to be yours.
One of them is mine, but that's a top secret thing.
Oh,
I mean, I can talk about it, but
damn it! Why did I
just don't tell anybody on the air?
Okay, I promise not to talk about your project that you're working on. Oops, I did it again.
Yeah, no, I'm working on a couple of interesting things. One of them is it's a salsa group in Chile, and it's I was lucky enough to meet them a few years ago, and I produced the very first commercial salsa recording out of Chile.
Okay.
And it's a band based out of there. No ringers, no studio cats. It's all the band. And they had a pretty successful first album. It sounds really good. We worked in the studio for only a week. I whipped up the arrangements. I produced them out there. I didn't even play piano.
Really?
Yeah, I just directed them. We had a great time bonding, and it was a very nice experience for everybody. And I'm going to repeat that now. We're going to go in the studio first week of August. So I'm flying to Chile for about a week. Again, spending a week just recording, doing the record, and flying back and going back out on tour with Mark.
You know what? It's funny you say that because I have nothing to do for the month of August, and I am no problem. You twisted my arm. I'll go with you to Chile. It's
you know what?
problem.
Yeah, I'm gonna call and make a reservation now for you and Roman.
Okay.
Thank you.
How's that?
Thank you.
Pat's not really interested in going to Chile.
No, because they don't. I don't think they allow guys in skirts over there, do they?
I'll check. I'll check next time I go.
Yeah.
Wait a minute, Chile, isn't that where all the earthquakes are? I'm okay, I'll pass.
Yeah.
There's like an earthquake every 3 minutes, bro.
Yeah, but they're not so bad, and they're used to it over there. And the architecture is built is designed so
for
that
earthquakes.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So they know what they're doing over there.
So
They
wait a
really
minute.
do.
So which one is worse in earthquakes? Is it Cali or Chile?
Dude, Chile, bro. Didn't you
No,
remember
no, no, no.
last year
Wait,
was like,
wait. I gotta hear from the guy.
Okay, that's true.
From my own experience,
Yes.
you know, California, they've been having earthquakes now for years, for centuries.
Right.
And yet they don't change their architecture. At least Chile adapted to the fact that they have earthquakes, and they do pretty well.
Okay.
So I'd feel safer in Chile than I would in Cali.
Okay.
Yeah.
So there you go. At least now we know we can be safe knowing that once the earthquake goes over there, we're nice and safe. We don't have to worry about it.
Yeah, no, the buildings are designed to sway with the it's very
shaking of the
cool.
ground.
Oh yeah.
So entonces parece como que están bailando reggaetón y todo
Algo
eso.
así, una bachata, una bachatica. así.
No, tiene que ser perico ripiado porque es más así de
No,
temblor.
como es temblor, sí, más rapidito. sí.
Dembow. It's dembow.
Oh, okay, no.
They're dancing dembow.
All right.
También.
Okay, disculpa. I mean, that's another género,
There
pero
you go.
está bien.
There you go.
So yeah, so mira, we know that you are very versatile. So well, before I get into that, I actually have a personal question.
Are we still talking about music? Or?
Yes.
Or earthquakes.
No, music.
You know,
I actually saw you in one of Mark's concerts.
Oh, okay.
All right, but this was a video though. Although as I spoke to you before, I did see you in Brooklyn,
Right.
which was actually for Valentine's Day, the actual day.
Oh, nice. I remember that.
Matter
yeah,
of fact,
yeah, I remember that.
el comediante
Joey Vega.
Yeah, buddy
he's
of
my
mine.
boy, yeah.
He was over there. He opened up.
Oh, he's awesome.
Yeah.
He's awesome. I love Joey.
So now here was the thing. I actually saw you in a video, playing a guitar. Well,
Oh, that. Yeah.
What is that exactly?
It's a keytar. It's a very it's funny. It made a comeback eventually. Now everybody's using one now.
Okay.
It was big in the 80s.
Thanks to Ricky Gonzalez.
No. It was big in the 80s, and Ricky Gonzalez unfortunately
Brought it back.
held it through the 90s when it wasn't installed anymore. And so they pretty much banned me from using that. And look at that. Now it's back in style.
See, but again, thanks to you.
Well,
But like, what's the difference between playing a regular piano and what you just called?
oh no, that's just a way. It's a little more liberating. You know, when you're at a piano, you have to either sit or stand, but you're
Right.
behind the thing that doesn't move. It's a piece of furniture.
Okay.
At least with the keytar, that synth that I was playing, it's like a guitar, so you can walk around with it, you can dance, you can do it. It's just it frees you up to move around a little bit.
Gotcha.
It was just fun. It was
Oh,
just,
okay.
You know, you play it the same way. It's still a piano, but
And I also see that you also do the coro there too.
a little bit, yeah.
Caramba, este tipo canta también.
Hay que hacer un poquito de todo.
That's good, bro. That's good. He's like the hardest working Latino, I would say, on both sides of the musical.
Spectrum? Regular James
I like
Brown.
that. I like that.
Thank you.
You look, and I can say this because I'm very confident of my masculinity. You're a very handsome man.
Well,
This chair has done something to me. I think Uncle.
Oh my
God, I feel so good.
I think it's because
El Pato Donald.
Muchacho.
That's awesome.
Yeah, but I don't think you want to hear the rest of what it.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah, I'm not gonna make it like Pat. I think something is in this chair, dude. That has,
Okay,
but
okay,
no,
yeah.
te felicito, bro.
Muchas gracias,
Un
muchas gracias.
caballero completo, bro.
Muchas
De
gracias,
verdad.
muchísimas gracias.
Yeah. He
Uno
is,
hace,
man. He is.
uno hace lo que le encanta a mí. Yo vivo para esto. Yo soy músico 24 horas al día, 7 días a la semana, el año entero. Si no estoy produciendo discos, estoy tocando, estoy haciendo giras, estoy escribiendo, hago arreglos, compongo. So it's a nice mixed bag of creative expression. You know?
Right.
So I enjoy it.
Well, it's good to know because I mean, Jesus Christ, it's great to know that you know someone like you that you're able to flow with all different types of genres of music, though, man.
It's a blessing to be able to do that. I mean, you know, you work in an environment where, you know, most of my success has been in Latin music, you know,
Right.
as a producer, as an arranger, and as a musician.
Mhm.
But, you know, to be able to get to the opportunity to do other things, other genres, it's a real blessing.
Now, when you first started out, you started out with what genre of music?
Bueno,
Originally.
I was, you know...
Siendo dominicano, that's why I'm asking you. Because normally at least in my eyes, I think you would start off with like merengue, bachata, you know, like that.
Well, it's interesting because I was born and raised in the
Santo
Dominican
Domingo.
Republic, en Santo Domingo.
What part?
ciudad,
What
en la
part?
ciudad, la capital.
La capital,
Sí,
okay.
soy capitaleño. Entonces, me crié, nací y me crié allá y the music that was playing was always, merengue, perico ripiao, baladas, out of the jukeboxes. And they were loud and you can hear it day and night. But I was also into American pop music. I was also into, I don't want to date myself, so I don't want to say what I was listening to, but it was American pop music. And I was a drummer at the time. I didn't play piano until later in life, until my teen years.
Okay.
But I would play along all day, even as a kid, as a 2-year-old. I would sit at the drums day and night, just lock myself in the room and listen to American pop. And that's how I learned the rhythms. The other stuff was just in my blood. The Latin stuff is just part of what I do. And so I was raised in an environment where creativity was just allowed.
Okay.
My parents were very supportive, and everyone around me was always supportive of what I did. So it made it easy. It made it easy. The hard work came later when you dealt with the business end of music, where you have to. You deal with so many different things. You deal with serious aspects of finance and contracts and things like that. So that came later.
The business side.
Yeah, I'm still learning about the business side.
Well, como músico, you're always learning. That's a never-ending step. Like you're always evolving into something new.
Yeah.
As I said, like I mentioned to you before, yo era corista, so...
Sí.
And thank God I left that part of it. Pero that's a different story for another day.
But you still got your looks, and that's what's important.
Oh, thank you. Esto es el maquillaje de Halloween. Thank you, though. But yeah, so for those that don't know who, Ricky Gonzalez is, Ricky Gonzalez is currently... Is it safe to say... the piano player or one of
them? Yeah, there are two of us.
But you're the main one, though.
No. We share equal. In fact, I dare say that the other guy's the main one, and I handle a lot of other things. I handle keyboards and all the auxiliary things. I handle background vocals. I kind of. I'm a utilities guy.
So then me estás cogiendo el nombre mío en la mezcla. Tú estás en la mezcla
de... Sí, viste. That's how... We always segue into that. That's good.
Yeah.
That's good. So, you're a pro. You should make money at this.
Oh, yeah. Why am I still collecting my damn welfare checks?
You could do this for a living.
Oh, man. You tell me about it. So now, besides Mark Anthony, you have worked alongside with a bunch of other artists. Care to briefly just go... I could say it, pero... It'd be better coming from the man himself.
Throughout a 30-year career.
Wow. That was a good one. We'll talk about that. Go on. Because I'm very curious as to your roster, which is very impressive.
No, he didn't say 30. He said dirty career. Dirty.
Oh, okay.
Throughout a very dirty career, yes. No, I've had the opportunity to work with a lot of... Well, I toured and produced Celia Cruz. I didn't tour with, but I produced a couple of records with Gilberto Santa Rosa, Tito Nieves. In fact,
one of the famous songs that everybody in the English world knows happens to be
Yeah, baby. I like it like that.
There you go. I tried to do it. Did I do it right? Did I do it right?
Yes, you did.
All right.
You can make a living at this.
Thank you. Thank you.
Jose Alberto El Canario, Raulín Rosendo, Tito Nieves. Oh, I mentioned Tito. Gilberto, Jennifer Lopez. I've gotten the opportunity to work with
quite a few,
a bunch of people,
and with the legends that you actually,
Johnny Pacheco, Jimmy Sabater, Tito Puente. Wow, that's just you don't think about it when it's happening.
Ray
That's
Barretto.
the beauty. Oh, Ray Barretto was. Oh God, how can I forget Ray?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Ray, I joined Ray's band when I was 16 years old, and it was a real learning experience. He was so good to me. He was a father figure. He was a great band leader. I developed as an arranger thanks to him.
Okay.
And other people. And I developed as a soloist. He allowed me all kinds of freedom to just play. And people would ask him, why are you letting that kid play 10-minute piano solos? And he just let it happen.
Right.
And it was really, I can't find the words to appreciate, what he did for me.
Well, I mean, obviously it was a blessing that he, gave you the opportunity.
Oh, yeah. And he had a band of young lions, Jimmy Delgado was in that band.
Okay.
Jimmy Bosch was in that
Wow.
band. Angel Fernandez was in that band. I mean, you had a real powerhouse bunch of young guys, very energetic, and everybody had something to prove.
Around what year was this,
This
more or
was
less?
80. Oh, so you're gonna try and figure out my age.
No, I'm not gonna ask that.
This was early 80s.
Right, early 80s.
Before you were you were still in
No,
diapers
dude,
and
don't get it twisted.
you can't be older than me.
I'm pretty sure I'm not, dude. You've worked with Dizzy Gillespie, so I'm gonna get into that.
Are you familiar with Dirt? I'm older than Dirt.
No way.
I'm older than that. Yeah.
I was invented right after the fart.
My social security number is 000. No, sorry.
Mine's is 2.
Then I beat you.
Nice, that's you. So it's Jesus, then you.
It's Jesus, me.
I got you.
Yeah, there you go.
See, meanwhile with me, I was born, at the time that they copyrighted the Bible. So.
Nice.
With a stamp.
Ay, Dios mío. But you know what? Here's the thing. We actually had not too long ago here in studio a Grammy winner. Eddie Montalvo was here.
Oh, yes, Eddie.
He was here. So,
Yes.
I mean, like, I'm pretty sure that you played with him.
Yeah. It's. I can't say how blessed I feel to have had the career that I have and to have met and worked with the people that I have. And it's really weird. I don't know if you've ever experienced this, but it's really weird when these are your heroes. These are the people who, as a kid, you see their name on the album covers, and you just dream of meeting them one day.
Yeah.
And all of a sudden, you're not just meeting them; you're working
alongside
them, and sometimes they're working for you.
Yeah.
You're in the studio producing them,
Their
and they're
music.
following your instructions.
Right.
It's like, ooh, that's kind of weird, but you just kind of take in and absorb everything. You live the moment. And you move on to the next thing, and you feel privileged for the experience.
Now, here's a question. Who is the one artist that you had that one feeling? The one that stands out the most? I mean, I'm pretty sure there's a few. But the one, that one.
It's really hard to say because Gilberto is up there.
Right.
In terms of that, I was a fan before before I got a chance to work with him.
Right.
Tito Nieves was a total gentleman in the studio. He respected what I did.
he's a genuine nice guy to begin with.
Yeah,
so,
but
I would
beyond
imagine.
that, in terms of the work, this guy came in. There was no diva anything about this guy. He came in on time. He did his job, and then he left when it was time to leave to leave me to do my thing.
Right.
And he respected my everything that went down. I think that was one of the nicest experiences as a producer that I've had.
And now here's the thing, though. I mean, like, I know you're friends with Sergio George.
Yes.
And
we actually went to school together. We were in college together.
Get out of here.
Yeah. And Sergio.
Wait a minute,
a lot of
hold
people
on.
don't know this. Oh, wait.
Okay, you know what? I'm gonna put the abacus away. Go ahead, please.
Put those figures away. Sergio and I not only went to college together, but Sergio, I always give him credit for this. Hooked me up with some of the nicest gigs that I've ever had.
Really?
Sergio introduced me to Ray Barretto.
Nice.
Ray Barretto didn't know who this kid was, who I was. I was some snot-nosed little kid. Sergio kind of was one of the people who was key in not just introducing me, but to try and get me into the band. Sergio also got me to tour with Angela Carrasco, a pop tour, having nothing to do with salsa.
Right.
And thanks to him, I've gotten to do some nice things, and he's obviously moved on to some really nice things, and so I'm very proud of him, and I'm very happy for him.
Nice. Now here's another thing. Many around the business, or even for that matter around the world, that know who Ricky Gonzalez is, they know you to be salsero. You have worked with other genres of music.
Sure.
Merengue. Who with in merengue?
Fernandito Villalona.
El Mayimbe.
El Mayimbe, yeah. One of those things, right?
Yeah.
Where I grew up listening to Fernandito. I would never in my wildest dreams would imagine that I'd get to produce him.
Right.
So I got to work with him in the studio. It's funny because you get kind of categorized as either a salsero or a pop guy or a jazz guy or a merengue. And I've been privileged to do all of them and to have a reasonable amount of success in a lot of those. But I can say the same thing about what I do. For example, I remember having this conversation with Ray Barreto, que en paz descanse, back when I was in his band, back in 25 years ago.
Mm-hmm.
And he featured me. Stop doing math.
Yeah, you know what? I'm going to. That's the only way to be happy in the music business.
I'm no good at math. anyone who knows me will tell you that.
That's why you're happy.
But I had this conversation with Ray because I was frustrated.
Okay.
You know, I had been there a couple of years, and I got really frustrated because, you know, I was an arranger as well. You know, I was his pianist, and I was featured a lot, and I was making some noise as a pianist. But I really wanted my arrangements to, and I had success with the arrangements. You know, I gave him a couple of hits on first shot, but no one talked about my arranging. You know, everybody talked about the piano playing, and so I you know, in my frustration, I kind of asked him, you know, for some advice. I said, you know, Ray, nobody talks about my writing. Everybody's just about my playing. And in fact, I didn't even mention the playing. I just said I would love to be a little bit more recognized for my writing. And he said, Rick, the problem here is that you stand out so much as a pianist that people can only really focus on one aspect of any one person or any one thing at a time.
Right.
At least that's what it seems like.
Uh-huh.
And so I understood, and I took in the explanation, but, you know, basically I'm already used to that. I'm okay with, and I've come to terms with the fact that, you know what, there's going to be periods in your life when you're going to be recognized more for your production work and not so much as for your piano work. And there'll be times in your life when you'll be recognized more for your writing than your playing. Sometimes for your playing more than anything else.
Right.
I'm at the point in my life and at an age.
And he looks right at you at that.
At an age where I'm okay with anything. I'm okay with, you know, just spell the name right and I'm cool, you know.
Yeah.
That's really cool.
Very
humble, very nice, bro. For a person, and I mean this, for a person with I would say a resume or you know, a career roster as impressive as yours, you know, una trayectoria del cara, honestamente, for you to say it like that, that's a dude. Nothing diva-ish about you. And
I
kudos to
appreciate
that. Kudos to that.
Thank you. Where do I send the check to?
My PayPal
What's
directly.
Oh, you got it. Oh, cool. That makes things easy for everybody. All right. Well, I appreciate that. I mean, you can't be anything but level-headed and humble in this business because it'll eat you up alive if you're not careful. And you know what? There's a lot of frustration already going on here because the business is kind of in a weird state of flux, and then the thing you have also is no one really knows which direction to go in. You know, the record labels don't really have a handle on how to sell their product, and the artists are also kind of like looking to see how they can reach a wider audience,
keep relevant also,
and stay relevant. Yeah, and so right now, you know, you have no choice but to be quiet and level-headed and to a degree humble.
Right.
You know, I would like to ask a couple of questions. We actually have one, with your permission, Eric. We have one in the chat room, which is coming in from Dulce, and we have one coming in from Nessa. Actually, Nessa would like to know what led you to get involved in the music. And I know you said something earlier about going to school with Sergio George, but what was your inspiration into entering the music, becoming, you know, how can I say, dedicated to arranging? And was it a childhood dream of yours?
Well, Nessa, to answer that question, it's a weird thing. The truth is, I honestly believe that some people are meant to do what they do. I was in love with music ever since I can remember. I was playing drums at home at 2 years old. I didn't want to do anything else.
Nice.
I just wanted to absorb everything that I possibly could when it came down to music. Every style, every genre, everything. And then I'm a piano player now only because by the time I was about 11 or 12, I got the itch to write music.
Right.
And you can't really notate it as a drummer. So I needed to learn an instrument like guitar or piano where I can learn harmony. And I taught myself how to play piano. I never took a lesson. So this is just stuff that you want to do. It's just passion. It's just this thing that you just got to do it. I have to breathe and I got to do music.
And so which one was, like, how long was it, how hard was it for you to learn how to read the notes?
it's when you're 12, and you don't have to worry about the mortgage or the rent
All
or a
the
car
bills.
payment or any bills. Your mind is a sponge. Your mind is open, and you have time and space in that hard drive
Right.
to just absorb everything that you want. Y yo tenía una fiebre para aprender todo que yo me metía a eso, and you literally, can imagine me locked in a room from morning till night just studying.
As I
Because
call
I'm-
that, Kanye Westing it.
Wow.
All right.
Never thought I'd find myself being compared.
Dude, I think he's like a
But
musical genius.
But who's another one that was like that too, though?
Uh-huh.
From my understanding, was Prince. Prince actually was, because he knows how to play a bunch.
Oh
of
yeah, yeah. No,
different,
Prince is definitely
different instruments, musical
Yeah.
instruments. Let me, because this kind of show, I
This
gotta,
is that kind of show.
yeah. So we gotta clarify
See,
that.
right now, he would have gone into a half-hour rant with Patrick Shannon.
Had
as
Patrick been
Who
here.
has played the organ more, him or Patrick?
Is Patrick? Are his ears ringing right now?
Probably because he likes
They always are.
He likes to blow on those bagpipes.
See what I mean? See what I mean? So I have a good one. So let's talk about inspiration once again. So the music that you have dedicated to arranging, writing, what have been some of the themes of life that have assisted you in making those songs, writing those songs?
Ironically enough, when I first got into really opening up to music, my parents wanted me to listen to Latin music, merengue, salsa. My parents were into Héctor Lavoe,
Wonderful.
Ismael Rivera, Oscar de Leon.
My favorite.
And I really had no use for any of that stuff. I was like, oh, no, I don't want to listen to that. That was my parents' music.
That was same here.
Yeah, that was
Same
my
here.
parents' music. I am probably the #1 charter member of the Earth, Wind, and Fire fan club.
Do you still rock one of the T-shirts?
Oh, we'll talk about that. I say that to mean that I was into everything but
Everything
Latin
else.
music.
Yeah,
and so
same
what
here.
and so what happens?
Same here.
But the good thing that happens is then that takes over in terms of what I do within the Latin genre or any genre for that matter. Those influences creep in and actually at least I hope it makes it fresh. It makes it something slightly different because the influences are not just the traditions of Latin music, but the traditions of R&B and jazz and popular music.
Right.
So I mean, ultimately, it does enriquece la música,
Right.
la música latina, but the influences actually are from somewhere else. And even on my free time, I don't listen to salsa.
You don't?
No, not at all. I mean, if there's something that's there that I really enjoy, then I will. But I don't,
What do you catch listening? Yourself listening to?
Oh boy. Well, first of all,
when you do have the
to
chance.
to remind you that I spend more time on airplanes, and in a car on my way to an airport. Those are the times that I get to listen to music. Because when I'm home or in my studio, I'm writing.
Yeah, you're
and so I
writing and
can't listen to
arranging.
anything.
Right.
But 8-hour plane ride. My iPod's got everything from Alejandro Sanz to Stravinsky, Mozart to Chambao. I don't know if you're familiar with some of these artists. Niña Pastori, who's a flamenco pop singer from Spain. Ketama, a lot of Earth, Wind, and Fire.
Okay. You seem like a Phil Collins type of guy as well. You listen to Phil Collins?
Of course.
I kind of got
I
the
do
Phil
too.
Collins.
I do too.
Yeah,
That's what
no.
it was, both of you guys? Should
Well-
we dim the lights?
Hey, don't get jealous.
It's that kind of show.
Chair. This
Yeah,
is damn chair.
I don't intentionally do it, but the truth is, when I want to listen to something on my spare time, no me llama. It's very rare, and if I do listen to Latin music on my free time, it's gonna be some real hardcore.
That's
old
what I want to
stuff.
know. Okay, so let's say salsa wise. What do you
Salsa-wise?
listen to?
Puerto
salsa
Rico
wise?
All Stars right now.
Puerto
The
Rican
very
All-Stars.
first.
Que
CD.
Guille?
No, el
Songs like-
primero, el que tenía Changuirí.
Okay.
The intro.
The joints with Pedro Conga and all those guys, right?
No, this was before the one with Pedro Conga.
Really?
Puerto Rico All Stars. I'm talking about, it was Papo Luca on piano, Gunda Merced, Rafi Torres, Elia Lopez. I mean, the
Okay, so
All Star
the-
brass
wow,
section.
the original
Yeah, the very,
ones.
very first
Okay.
record. That's
All
that's
right.
been on my playlist a lot lately.
Awesome.
In part-
All right, I got another one, and
Yeah.
I'm a little bit of a controversial dude.
All right.
I like striking controversy.
Talk to me.
And I used to be a DJ. I was actually one of the DJs at the Copacabana. I DJ'd at Studio 54, so
Okay.
that we could start doing math together. All right. And one thing that I realized first, like you said, working there, being around those people, I got to see, you know, Frankie Ruiz live and all this stuff, and I never appreciated it.
Okay.
You know, once the band went on, that meant I didn't have to DJ, so I would go outside
Right.
and smoke a cigarette. But now in today's
A cigarette.
realm, a cigarette, no de lo finito.
Okay.
Yeah, all right.
Not the herbal tree.
No, exactly.
No, no.
Back then, not a single one. Trust me.
Okay, okay.
All right. So, I would say in today's world of salsa, what is recognized as salsa today, which I think is this overhyped, overproduced stuff that's out there. How do you feel about the salsa that's coming out from everywhere else outside of Puerto Rico? How do you feel about the salsa that's coming out there? Let me kick you off. How do you feel about the salsa that's coming out of, being that you're Dominican, the Dominican Republic?
Let me start off by saying that there's room for everyone. There's room for everything. And as a record producer, I have been, you know, on some really down home, you know, almost to the wall recording sessions. You know,
You
with
can
some-
say it, bro.
Some
This is-
hardcore
this-
stuff.
this is a
And
rated
I've
R
also
show.
been in the studio, and I've produced very commercial sounding things. You know, so you know, the palette is open to everything, to all colors. Now, stylistically, you know, I try not to talk too much about the differences, because I don't like talking about our differences. I'm trying to figure out how we can all, you know, what are.
I'm
how we
not
can
so
be the
much.
same.
I'm not so much asking with the sense of what's different. I'm asking is how do you feel? Like I will tell you, for instance, I'll say it. Okay. I love what comes out of Colombia. I love what comes out of Puerto Rico. I love what's coming out of Venezuela.
Okay.
With artists like Clasicom, which had that one hit, and after
Right.
that he freaking
Right.
disappeared. You know, that was amazing. But then I'm hearing like Heart Attack, freaking tempo salsa coming out way too back to back.
Yeah.
You know, I love one thing I love about
Chiquito
salsa.
what is it?
I don't. You can have a heart attack saying his name.
Something
bro.
or the other.
No, I totally.
You understand?
I'm
And
with
it's
you.
just
I'm
dun, dun,
following
dun,
you.
dun, dun, like,
I'm
it's like-
following
I'm like,
you.
it sounds
following
too
you.
electric.
Yeah.
Salsa is not meant to be electric. At least if you ask me, it's meant to be. You know, this section. Now let's hear this section. Now everyone together. Okay. Now for the solo. Bam. Big finish. You know, I'm not disparaging and I'm not
No,
knocking.
no.
I'm just sharing my opinion.
I'm totally.
But
I'm
you
following
being
you.
the virtuoso that you are, okay, I would like to hear your opinion.
Well,
be truthful. Trust
no.
me.
I'll be as truthful as I possibly can.
Don't worry, the FCC doesn't hold a number on us. Fuck the FCC.
Damn.
He said that. DJ Eric and La Mezcla.
And I approve this message.
I'm gonna vote for you for president. Well, here's the thing: the one criticism that I can have of the industry and even us as creative people is that, you know, we grab something and we latch onto it and we don't vary it up. And so, you know, I have a theory that tempo really came from some of the Venezuelan stuff that Adolescentes did, you know, when they had that
I
hit,
concur.
right?
When the original Adolescente.
Porfi Baloa, sí. Oh, you know Porfi.
Yes, I do.
Yeah, he's a
I
good,
know
he's a
about
good
my
guy.
music.
He's a good guy. And so, you know, they had a big hit with that, you know, otro, you know, that thing, and it was like really fast. So what happens? I think that we have a tendency. Again, I wasn't there when they produced, or when they're producing all this stuff, the Dominican salsa specifically that you're talking about. But it seems like they listened to that and they didn't really go beyond it, you know. And there's so many different things.
Pero y entonces también a la misma vez you have Victor Wilde, de que he's arranging a lot of these the salsero dominicano.
Sure.
And he's adding on to, like, for instance, that Chiquito Timbang that I'm talking about, that that salsa lejos de ti right now, that sucker, I mean,
that is fast.
That's a fast ridiculous fast.
That is fast.
On the BPMs, that's like 200, 2000
You
or
could
something
mix that
like
shit
that.
to techno.
Yeah,
That's
well,
how fast
you know.
it is.
Again, you know, I can't put it down because there's room for everything.
Right.
And these are my colleagues, and I respect them, and I have mad love for them. But at the same time, it's not necessarily what I would do. See, it's hard because you can't dictate to anyone else how to be creative. The creative process is as individual as
I agree.
the three of us.
I agree.
But you know what? I can criticize a bunch of other stuff that goes on. You know, why would you if you were to produce a salsa album, Eric's going to produce a record, right? Why would you have every song be the same tempo and the same,
Yeah, that doesn't make sense.
like the same thing every single song, and then you wonder why non-Latinos who listen to salsa for the first time say, "Hey, yeah, but it all sounds the same."
No, you know what's dope? I'm gonna tell you what's dope. When you go to a club where they have like salsa dancers go to, like the schools visit,
Yeah.
you don't hear anything current.
Right.
You hear all the classics.
Correct.
All the what they basically call like the fundamental music.
Right,
Like
right.
you'll hear your freaking Africandos.
Yeah.
You'll hear your Isidro Infante music, stuff that's never on the radio. That's the
Yeah.
other one. And another thing, and I'll say, and with this I'll close.
I'm glad
I
you
worked
said
in the
Isidro
music
Infante.
business.
Uh-huh.
I worked in the music business for 15 years. Okay, I was a record executive. I never got an opportunity to do anything, the service that I wanted to for salsa, because when I joined the industry is when RMM collapsed.
Uh-huh.
It's like I was given the catalog,
And
and
then-
when I was going through it, the next day is like, forget it.
Yeah,
it
can't
doesn't
do anything
exist
with it,
anymore.
yeah.
I'm like, why? What happened? Well, it doesn't exist as a
Right,
company, and
right.
we can't touch it for the next 10 years.
Yeah.
So that's one of the reasons why I feel salsa, had the pain that it went through, but it is alive and well. It is the only genre of Latin music that is heard around the entire globe, and the only genre of Latin music that is played in every continent consistently. Like right now, there's a salsa band jamming somewhere, if not everywhere, around the world.
I'm totally with you. I totally agree. Now, how do we change what's going on? How do we change because you and I had this conversation the other day over the phone. You want to speak on it, or you want me to?
I'll let you go ahead. Go ahead.
Basically, Eric and I were talking on the phone, and it was supposed to be a 5-minute conversation, and
It turned out to like a
phone
week
bill,
later. Yeah.
my phone bill is like,
Yeah,
I send it to you.
nothing with Eric is 5 minutes.
Yeah.
Ask his ex-girlfriend.
Well, there's only
Thank
one
you,
thing.
thank you, thank you, thank you.
Well, and the conversation, one of the topics of conversation was, what went wrong. I keep hearing about how popular, people love salsa. Yo soy salsero, but no one's buying records, and records aren't selling, and the record companies, trust me, as a record producer, I've suffered because budgets were here, and now they're offering peanuts, and I unfortunately turn down more work than I do, mostly because what they want, the work that they want is, and
The
what
type
they,
of
and
work
what,
that
the
they
type
want.
of work that they want, but what they're willing to part with is nowhere near what it used to be. I can't get mad at them because budgets can't.
It is what it is.
They're not making money, and so they can't really. Why would they invest $80,000 or $100,000 when they don't expect to make 10 of it back?
Okay.
that's
business.
BS though. But that's BS.
That's business. No, not necessarily. You know why? Because you can get mad at them, but I don't. You can get mad at radio. Well, radio doesn't promote our music. You know what? It would be nice if they did, but they're a business. Like you and I were speaking. They're there to get ratings, and they're responsible to their advertisers. They have responsibilities that are fiscal, that have more to do with finance. So I'm a new artist, and I come in with this new product. They have no interest in promoting me because people are going to tune in. If they play my record, people are going to tune out.
Because
And-
it costs more money to sustain the viability of your music as opposed to a track artist. That's
Well,
number one. Because think about it. You create an album, your royalties need to be split at least 12 to 15 different ways with all your musicians and your vocalists and everybody that's involved with your music. Whereas if you grab music from an artist that is probably being completed through the console on his computer, and maybe it's one dude pressing the button, guess what? That's a one-way royalty. Those and more of it will go to the label than it would to the artist because, hey, you're lucky that we even distributed your shit to begin with.
You're absolutely
That's one
right.
of the issues.
You're absolutely
on the business
right.
end, I'll break that down to
Yeah.
you. 'Cause like I said, I worked in the music business for
Right. No,
half of my
you're
life.
100% right. But I'm only talking within one genre. So let's say we're talking about a radio station that plays Latin music without mentioning any.
La
any-
Mega.
No, no call letters. and they'd rather play
WSKQ.
They'd rather play Frankie Ruiz, who's not even with us anymore.
Why?
And
You
he
know
doesn't
why?
need to sell records, but because people will tune out if they hear something on the radio that they're not familiar with.
Because Disco
It's the
Hit,
same
who
thing
handled
with- at the clubs,
Disco
too.
Hit, who
Clubs,
handled Disco Hit, who handled Frankie Ruiz's catalog. There's a reason for all that. All right. The travesty is that all that business was so fumbled that the music that they actually still do play, guess who's not collecting royalties? Those estates.
Right.
And the labels that are collecting them are refunding the stations right back to continue supporting that format, because that way they continue to sell that music, which only they single-handedly by themselves collect money on, and the stations could care less. All right, we're not re-identifying the genre. We're not looking to impose new music on the conscience of the fans. Let's just play the same shit that we don't have to share any money with other than me and the guy who just bought it to me. And that's one reason.
I just
You know,
learned
that's
something.
another
He
reason.
just schooled me. No, that's he's absolutely right, but I didn't realize that until he mentioned it.
It's
you're
the
absolutely
truth,
right.
dude. Do a research on Cubane. All right, there's not a single Dominican, all right, from that danced at any of the clubs in the '80s that can't break down the entire history of Cubane records.
From
Go
Coco
try
Ban-
doing that shit on
Go
Google.
from Coco Ban on down, right?
My brother, they'll break it down to you.
'Cause I know
go
Coco
on
Ban-
Google and put Cubane. Nothing will come up. You know what it'll take you to? A Sony site. And when you research Cubane again on Sony, guess what's not there? None of the artists.
Now, what about Disco Mania? Is Disco Mania still around or no?
Disco Mania. Who was on that?
Let's see. There was Aníbal
Bravo.
Yeah, guess what? It's around, but it's probably called some other entity, and none of the artists would be named on it whatsoever. That's why it took Fania so long to finally get digital distribution, because the family members, the surviving family members of all those artists, and I'm telling you this because I was offered the VP position at Fania, but because I knew too goddamn much, they were like, you know what? We don't need this guy. He's supposed to work with the company, not against it.
Right.
You know what I mean? And lastly, another thing is this: the big box stores, when there were so many around. But if you were to go into a direct deal with Target, trust me when I tell you, you would topple the system so badly. You understand?
Yeah.
Because there's a lot of music that doesn't get into Target. Go look at their Latin section. It is a shame.
Oh, no. But it's gotten worse now. It's gotten worse, where you would have in Target J, you would have like 3 to 4 different shelves of music from left to right.
Right.
Is now cut down to one shelf, one aisle.
In alphabetical order.
And in alphabetical order.
Sure. But that speaks to my next topic. The next reason for a lack of industry support. The industry can't support something if they don't see any
Income.
any income, and people don't support. Even the ones that say no, que yo soy salsero, ellos no apoyan la música.
Meaning that you have to buy
you have
the
to
CD.
buy records. You can't download and or pirate or you have to support this in order to prove that there is an audience for this thing. A record label's not going to be interested in signing anyone if they don't see any sales in the horizon. But people are very quick to say, no, yo quiero, they'll go to a free show, they'll go to a free concert in the park, but they won't go to Madison Square Garden.
Mhm.
They'll go, to the 116th Street Festival and get mad because they're playing more bachata than they are salsa, but you know what? Bachata sells, and people are actually buying it. And
Yeah.
people are paying real money to get for those records. And so show a little support and prove to the rest of us that, yeah, you are a salsero, de verdad, not just,
De
Sí,
boca.
pues,
De
And that's
chisme.
just in the
No
US.
seas
though,
chismoso, carajo.
but that's US only, because the culture outside of the US, and let's school some
No,
of these
not
amazing-
necessarily true, man.
Dude,
Not necessarily true.
okay.
I'm gonna tell you
not
why,
necessarily.
because
Go ahead.
in Ecuador, I've been
the worst example.
Exactly.
The worst example.
not
Mira.
the worst, but close.
No.
Go ahead.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Hello. We're both from there, so
Oh, you too?
bro, you starve.
No,
okay,
he
as a
looks
musician.
Mexican though, right? Doesn't he?
Thank you.
He looks like this guy.
Machete.
There you go.
I'm Cuchillo Jr. I'm Cuchillo Jr.
Danny Trejo. There you go. Danny
So the
Trejo's
thing is, in
illegitimate.
Ecuador, la pirateria,
Ecuadorian son.
La pirateria. Go ahead.
yeah,
Go
that
ahead. Shout it out.
exists, like big time.
Oh yeah.
Like,
They have
huge.
bootlegs of bootlegs,
Yeah,
bro. That's
yeah.
how bad it
Yes.
is out there.
Yes.
totally.
And it
familiar.
costs $1. I'm telling you because I know.
I agree because I've been a
Dude, and they have
You've been to
300
Ecuador.
songs.
And
They have
Bought
300
some
songs. Dude, in Ecuador, they have one CD with 300 songs. I don't even know how the hell they do that because they're MP3s.
And sell it for $1.
$1. And they and you know what's funny? When I went out there, I'm half Colombian, half Ecuadorian. So believe me,
you're the
I
worst.
know the sin from one end to the other. So
you got
dude,
jacked up.
check it out.
And you thought
So
I was.
I went over there and I offended the bootleggers because I was like, ¿Cuánto? $1. Toma 5. No, es uno, pero te quiero dar 5. And they would get mad. That's how retarded, bro.
Yeah.
Like, no, here's your $4. Leave me alone.
Te estoy dándote $4 de propina.
Why you want to pay more?
Te estoy regalando $4 de propina, desgraciado.
Listen, in my defense, when I've been to Ecuador and Peru,
even worse.
I've gone to the markets and I see videos that I'm on that you can never find anywhere else.
Really?
And for like $1.
Yeah.
And I'm talking about concert footage, well filmed, and what. I'm
La
like,
primera comunión de Ricky Gonzalez.
yeah, I mean, I gotta do it just for the sake of memories and stuff. But yeah, I you know, in my defense,
Have you bought any of them though? Yeah.
That's
well,
what
whose fault is that now? Let's go there. You know who gives them all that music? The industry.
Yeah.
The bootleggers out there, think about it. Their technological advances are so short, so limited. It's the distributors with the industry in conjunction with the underground, all right, the black market. They control the nightclubs where all this stuff is recorded, performed at, and because it takes less of I could say a negotiation. You will have concerts by Hector Lavoe from Peru, and you will have concerts from all these amazing artists from all these other places, and that's available through those people.
Oh, yeah.
And then it makes it over here.
Yeah.
And you find it here on would find it here on 10th Avenue.
Yeah.
Hiding somewhere.
I understand.
904 here on In the Mix Radio. We have our special guest here, Ricky Gonzalez, el maestro de las blancas y las negras. Yes.
Man, honestly, amazing.
And don't forget, the number to reach us right now is 914-969-6499. El número 914-969-6499. Aquí en el estudio para hablar con Ricky González. Dímelo. Oh, I have a question. Here we go. When he mentioned Isidro Infante.
Uh-huh.
Okay. You know what? I'm going to, you said that you would speak on anything and everything.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm going to put you on the spot here on the
Go for it.
RMM thing.
I welcome it.
Oh, I love this.
Here we go. We have Sergio George, who was the, if I'm not mistaken, he was the man assigned to being the arranger for pretty much everybody.
He made that company.
Okay. How did you feel? Now, Isidro is a wonderful person. I'm not putting him down whatsoever. So don't take it that way. How did you feel when they removed Sergio and put in Isidro?
Well,
in my eyes, now I'm going to tell you how I felt.
Okay.
In my eyes, I felt that it was I didn't have a problem with it at first. I didn't. Because I figured, okay, give somebody else a shot at seeing what they can do.
Mm-hmm.
I saw it went nosediving down. I didn't see, I didn't like the arrangements to a lot of the music that I was hearing.
Okay.
Isidro is a great mind, and I know that he arranges for him perfectly well. As for others, not so much. In your case, you arranged just wonderfully. But
because I'm in the room.
No, I'm being honest.
We keep it 100, baby.
Okay. I hear you. Thank you for that. Thank you for that.
And Isidro, not for nothing, he just didn't do it for me, man.
Okay.
And he's a wonderful guy. Your go.
Well, to clarify, Sergio wasn't removed from the position. Sergio left.
Okay.
It was time. I won't get into the details because those are his details to give. But it was his time to go, and he said, I'm out. He got a much nicer opportunity to be not only to do what he was already doing at RMM, but to be the big cheese, so hey, anybody would do that. And he moved on.
He prospered.
And he was very grateful to Ralphie for the opportunity, but it was time to go, and he left. Ralphie was the one who was scrambling to find someone, to fill the position. Now at the time, Isidro was an active producer. And at the time, I don't know if you remember Luis Ramirez.
Of course I do.
Yeah.
Now, Luis Ramirez was the next in line.
Okay.
Luis Ramirez was the next in line.
El tremendísimo.
No, Luis was not only a friend of mine, I mean, a really close friend of mine, but one of my heroes and one of my mentors and one of the guys that, we would speak on the phone literally every day about, nothing. Just, that's what we would do. Louis was next in line for a couple of reasons. One, he was a successful producer already.
Okay.
And two, he and Ralphie were, they grew up in the same neighborhoods. They grew up together, and it was just common sense. You're next in line.
Okay.
Now, Isidro as well as I, both had relationships with Louis where, you know, he would hire us to arrange, to run some of the sessions. You know, we were all colleagues in the same business. Now, Louis passed away. Before Louis passed away, he was in line to get that position. So it would naturally have gone to him.
Okay.
It didn't. You know, he unfortunately left us, and the position went to Isidro. You know, through. You know, I can't tell you the reasons because again, not there. I know for a fact that at the time that Louis passed, Louis was working on a new record for Rey de la Paz.
Okay.
Right?
Go ahead.
And so what happens is that Rey de la Paz had a good relationship with Isidro, and so he asked Ralphie, or he let it be known that he would prefer if Isidro finished the record because they were friends. And so, again, I wasn't there, so I can't speak on it, but this is my belief. So what happens is under the recommendation of Rey de la Paz, Isidro came on board, finished the record, and it was almost like, well, you're here already, you might as well, you know, it was a no-brainer. You know, he wound up kind of staying in the position of A&R and head producer of RMM Records.
Okay.
And, you know, it's a matter of taste. I understand that, you know, it's not your...
Me personally.
Yeah, you don't dig it, and
I didn't.
And some people do, some people don't, and that's cool. But that's what happened. So in terms of how I feel about it, you know, I would have loved to do it, but, you know, I would love to have $1 million right now. It's lo que Dios quiera.
Now,
You know, so.
were you even in the running for the position, though?
I don't know.
Not even through Chisme, you don't know?
I don't, because had Louis lived, he would have either taken the position, or I want to believe we were such close friends and we respected each other so much that he would have at least, you know, recommended. Yeah. I want to believe that.
Okay.
But, you know, he's not with us to verify that, so I can't say. But you know what? I could be wrong, too. He might have recommended Isidro if he didn't want the position.
I want to talk a little bit. I'm
Sure.
going to sound a little crazy right now, okay?
More than you normally do?
Yeah.
He's my alter ego. I'm starting to see this because where I'm being polite and I'm being
politically correct.
No, I'm being honest, but at the same time, I'm not as rough and tumble as my alter ego.
You know what it is? 'Cause
This
at
is Mr.
point-
Hyde.
At this point, I always say, yo, I'm not eligible for deportation, but I am
that's
eligible
why
for random
That's why I
frisking.
said that you are great as a villain.
Thank you. Thank you. That's another one. Outside of here, I do stand-up comedy, and I'm a comedic actor.
Nice.
Yes, thank you
Awesome.
so much. So here's the thing.
open
So
for him.
I've read a lot of books. Awesome. I would love to open for you, bro.
The show.
Yeah, that's what I meant. That's what I meant. This is the Patrick.
Mira, tú ves. I'm telling you.
Sorry.
Mira, espérate.
Te quedas calladito, viejo maricón.
Ah, yeah.
Go ahead. I'm sorry, man.
Que se le moja la canoa, se lo
Messing
hundió
with
hace rato. No, so mira,
or it could be something like,
there you go. Shout out to everybody who's still in the chat room. Mr. Eric and La Mezcla, Tom Connolly, Nesava, Krishna Spiazu, Maritza, and people on
Lady
In the Mix.
Love.
So here's where I'm going with it.
Uh-huh.
So I've been exposed to a whole other side of the business of the music that I used to be very quiet about. Okay, let's talk about the culture of energy and religion.
Okay.
Because there's a lot of mysterious shit that just happens.
Okay.
All right, like, you know, in hip hop they have the Illuminati. All right, and I say that in the Caribbean music they have the freaking Palero Nari,
Right.
and the Santeria
Palero
Nari.
Nari.
All right, let's say it just like that.
Okay.
Because let me tell you, listen to the lyrics.
Uh-huh.
I also think that the salsa genre toppled itself because originally the songs were, you know, toques, you know, I would say music that honored the Santos, the energy, and then all of that transition and just went into this whole commercialized movement where they totally forgot about the essence of it. Then there are certain albums till this day that come out that they always have that one track that dedicated itself to whether it be, you know, let's talk about it. If it makes you uncomfortable, please let me know.
Me? No,
You
no,
know,
no. I'm
there
gonna
would
let
be
you
that-
talk. I'm gonna
that
put my
one-
Kanye.
That one, cool. That
I'm gonna
one-
let you talk. I'm gonna let you finish. I'm gonna let you finish.
Fire. So they had that one song dedicated to Chango and another song dedicated to Ochung or whatever. Yeah, there's not a single artist from the old school that didn't do a song like that. Okay, now I've read books on the history of salsa music. And one thing that I did come across, which was rampant across the stage of the history of it, is that some of the iconic figures, they were all friends, but they all worked, energy-wise, they all worked against one another. And I was privy to a discussion. I'm not going to mention who the artists were, but I was privy to a discussion of 4 artists. You know what? I will not, because they're all alive.
It doesn't matter.
Well, okay. Point is, one of the artists was sitting with me. There were 2, one driving, another one on the other side, and there's 2 in the back and me in the middle. And I was just a young record dude. I was in charge of making sure that the promo CD was going out and that there were enough posters out there. Okay? And the minute one of them got off, mind you, we just finished having dinner, late dinner, after a Carnegie Hall performance. Who has performed at Carnegie Hall? All right. So all of a sudden is, ay, estoy cansado que ese tipo esté aquí ya hace tiempo y lo que yo hice y esto y el otro y todavía no ha funcionado. Estoy loco que funcione ya. And I was like, no fucking way. Now, like I said, I may sound crazy, but have you ever seen or experienced anything like that when you're like, you know what, this person, that energy I'm not rocking with, let me go this way? Have you ever experienced anything like that?
I have. I experienced it with an artist.
Good.
We were going to work together. We unfortunately didn't. I respect the artist very much, but it was a very strange thing that happened. And, you know, we spent a couple of years really not dealing with each other, not even talking.
Right.
We're cool. We're cool now, and I have a lot of respect for that artist, but it didn't work out. It's a really interesting theory that you have in terms of the industry and spiritual and those energies coming into play. I don't necessarily subscribe to that. Now, I'll explain
no,
why.
I understand.
I mean, I respect the opinion, and maybe there is something to it that me and my Pollyannic, mind, I want to see the world with, roses and flowers. I think that those themes in those days, in the 70s, had more to do with the time, more to do with the era. It was about conciencia. It was about,
freedom.
It was about freedom. It was about holding on to your roots. Taino culture and the songs. Tite Curet wrote about Anacaona and Babaila. And it all had to do with Taino culture and slave
African,
culture.
right?
And so that was and that had more to do with the time. That was just what they were doing. What we were into at the time. I think that the industry itself, having changed and shifted the way it has, and in to use your words, gone downhill, has more to do with the material that's being chosen. And I'm going to explain what I mean by that. One of my favorite composers, or at least one of the most successful ones, is a man named Ruben Blades.
Love Ruben.
What made Ruben so popular, and especially during his time with Willie Colon, I mean, Willie was a hell of a producer. The ideas that he came up with musically, were awesome. But you also had Ruben's lyrics. Ruben wrote novelas, and Latinos love our stories. We're addicted to novelas on television. You understand what I'm saying?
Right, of course.
And he wrote stories. He didn't write, Mami yo te quiero, Mami yo te adoro. He wrote a thing. Por la esquina del viejo barrio lo vi pasar. Like he was writing an entire, with a beginning, middle, and an end. What suffered in songwriting is that people don't write stories anymore. Ruben, to me, was one of the last great poets in that sense, and he created pictures of a street scene. He created that in your mind, and he made you imagine, Pedro Navaja and all the characters within that. Yeah. And that's what's gone from the industry. And it had that in itself is just a technicality. It has nothing to do with our religious beliefs or any of our energies. Now, that may have a lot to do with the lacking in popularity, because getting back to my other what I mentioned earlier, we have this like tunnel vision about stuff. We do one thing. We can only do one thing.
Right.
If lo que está pegado ahora el estilo salsa bien rápida, then we're all gonna do fast salsa.
Yeah, that's
and that's what I'm against as a producer. And you know what? As a record producer, thank God. I have the power to change that. I don't have to produce an artist.
That's what makes
you
you
have
God.
the choice. The
That's
power
what makes you God.
Except for one thing. The industry, because it's where it is right now financially,
Right.
they're not hiring producers to do an entire album anymore.
They're just doing songs.
They're doing singles. You know,
Okay.
I'll get hired to do maybe one or two. Maybe
Para ver si es que se pega.
Para ver si para ver si pega. Correcto. Entonces, en el caso mío, I'm so thankful when I do.
Right.
Every once in a blue moon, get an entire record, because then you can really have a creative input into the direction,
That you wanna
the
go in.
the sequencing, which song follows up this other song nicely, and you can tell a real story and vary up the tempos, and make one thing fast, un guaguancó, un son montuno, una salsa rápida, and you have a record that no one will be tired of listening to, because everything is fresh and interesting.
That's fantastic.
Okay.
Man.
Now
Honestly,
I don't
well
know if we
answered.
still
Thank you.
have the
Thank
person on the call. Caller, you still there?
Yes, I am.
Hey.
Okay. We have a caller here on the air right now. If you want to put on your headphones. No, right here. Right here.
Oh,
Go ahead. No, these are yours.
got it. Thank you.
have a
Caller, your
caller.
name?
Aurora Flores,
And you're calling from?
El Barrio, USA.
There you go.
Vaya,
Welcome
we
to
got
Picante
the barrio.
time.
The barrio's in the house.
That's right.
Nice. And wow, Aurora. This is Aurora Flores. Is this the?
This is the other Aurora Flores. Hi.
La única.
¿Cómo estás,
that's
amor?
me.
¿Todo
Hola,
bien?
how are you guys doing?
We're doing well, thank you. We have Ricky Gonzalez on the air right now.
I hear. Hola, Ricky.
How
Hi.
you doing? It's great to hear you. Oh, it's so nice that
Great
you
to
called
hear
in.
you. I've been listening in on this particular story with great interest.
Uh-oh. Did I get anything wrong? I hope I didn't get anything wrong. I know she's got all the facts.
No. I mean, first of all, I loved you guys talking about my old friend Louis Ramirez.
Yes.
I got a bunch of great stories about Louis. Louis was such a, Roman. Louis was a comedian, natural. Am I right, Ricky?
Yeah.
People, he was a comedian natural. He could make you laugh, and I got great stories about him I could say on the air, and a lot of others I can't.
Exactly.
But Louis was a
You
great
took the words right out of my mouth, Aurora. And what I loved about Louis the most was the fact that he really was a musical genius. I mean, I don't like to throw that word around, but he never acted like it. He totally was.
He was the most humble.
He was
guy.
self-deprecating.
But this guy, his
Yeah.
range. I mean, I love that album he did, Alibaba.
Yeah.
And there, I mean, in his boogaloos, you hear this deep doo-wop in the auto.
Yeah.
Oh my God, it's
No.
like, and what I loved about Louis was that he had that New Yorican feel.
Yeah,
He had that New York street feel.
Yeah.
And he was just such a great person. And yes, he was a genius. He was one of those geniuses out there. But I was listening in, and I was listening to the format of the show, and I noticed you could say some palabras folclóricas, as I call them.
Dale.
And
She's full of folkloric words.
I just like the thread of it, and I like what Ricky is saying, because we need, I think, more music that are themed and concept, and where you have a story, where one song follows another. Ruben is a great example of that, and it just so happens I've been working with Larry Harlow this week in the reprisal of Omi, the salsa opera that he fashioned in the concept of the Who's rock opera Tommy.
That's right.
Except with Omi, which is an African word, an Abakwa word for water, he is going to shower the Lincoln Center stage with all this original music, with a whole new crew. And when he did Omi in 1973, March, in Carnegie Hall, that was the introduction of Junior Gonzalez, his first big show in New York. Here he is with Celia Cruz and Peter El Conde and Justo Betancourt and Johnny Pacheco. And, I mean, this was like something else when that happened in 73. And it rebooted Celia Cruz's life, her career. Because she had done 2 albums, I think, with Tito Puente, but they hadn't sold. She even did Pemba Colorada. Nothing. And she was in semi-retirement in Mexico, where, by the way, I found the Santeria thread interesting, because what happened after the embargo, a lot of the white Cubans went directly to Miami. But especially the ones that were in entertainment, they went to Mexico. Mexico was still enjoying the last of their golden age of the industry. So that was our Hollywood. And if you were an artist of any kind, you went to Mexico.
This is true.
So they were there. Mongo had been there. Juto Betancourt had been there. A lot of the artists were there. So you don't start getting botanicas and centro espirititas really popular until the mid to late 60s. By the early 70s, especially in the percussion community, it was like a trend.
That's what I'm saying.
It was like a trend. It was like fashionable. In fact, it was like a challenge to someone like a Larry Harlow, who was considered un gringo. An outsider was like, oh, yeah, you may have gone to school. You may be a school musician, but I got tango, you know. So you ain't
It was kind of like a
And
brag, like
it
a
was that
bragging
type of
right.
thing. I could use those palabras folclóricas, right?
Of course, it's like a bragging right.
Oh,
It's like, you
okay,
know,
I
like
just wanted
in
to-
hip hop, like forgive me for interrupting, Aurora. Like I said, like in hip hop, like they'll be like, oh, you know, hip hop. Oh, I saw this artist perform, but in the background, some dude did this symbol, or I
Right.
saw the guy standing this way, or there was smoke
Yeah.
blowing from the left. That means this. That means that. With salsa, it was the same exact thing.
Correct,
You know, there
correct.
were certain, you know, drums that were being played, and people knew, oh, I know what that drum means. I know what this
El
horn
toque,
means.
ese
I know
toque
what that
And it
meant.
wasn't only the drum, it's certain patterns, you know, there's patterns that they use for the different orishas. So all of that put together, I mean, and it's musically based. It is part of the culture of the music, part of the spirituality. When you talk about, you know, tango, oba, aña, the aña, that's the spirit in the drum, you know, it is spiritual. And I have seen drums call out people that would never dance, and they have danced. So
Marlon
drum
Brando.
is a powerful thing. Drum is a powerful thing. But, you know, all of this stuff was happening in New York in the late 60s and early 70s. So, yeah, it was a very fertile and vibrant time. And here comes this gringo, and he does this opera. And now we're reprising it, and let me give you the information. It's going to happen this Wednesday, July 23rd, at Lincoln Center, out of doors, and it is absolutely free.
There you go.
The doors open at 6:30 p.m., and it's by the Damrosch Bandstand, Damrosch Park. That's like 62nd, 63rd by the projects, closer to 9th Avenue there, 10th
63rd
Avenue,
Street and 9th Avenue. 63rd and 9th this Wednesday.
At what time?
The doors will open at 6:30. The concert will start at 7:30 with Michael Stewart, who came in from Puerto Rico.
Mira pa allá. I was talking
Yeah,
about Michael
and so,
Stewart earlier today.
He's going to open the show, and then Larry's going to come on with 50 musicians, a 20-voice chorus, which we've been rehearsing since yesterday. Tomorrow we do full rehearsals with the orchestra, and it is truly sounding celestial. I mean, it's really...
Beautiful word.
It's such a work of art, Ian. It's
That's-
just such a work of art. The music, it's recalling to me Henny Alvarez, who was Larry's co-writer on this, and it's just so, it's a very spiritual thing, this Omi opera.
Well, big shout out to Larry. De parte
Yeah,
de un
he-
pianista a otro,
Sí,
right?
sí, sí. Big shout out to
Amazing,
Larry.
Amazing.
Yeah,
should
he's
give him a
still
call.
in there. He's still in there. He's still in there.
Oh, yeah.
We're writing a book, which should be out next year, and I should say I'm writing the book.
There you go. All right,
And,
all right. Correction.
It's been very interesting. It's a lot of fun. He's got such a life, and well, you know how Larry is, right?
Oh,
so
yeah.
the book is like Larry is. So
So it's in 3 parts then, the book.
How many volumes?
Yeah, 3, at least 3. Yeah.
So Aurora, listen, we want to thank you for calling in, and you know what? We're
Oh, but
definitely.
wait a minute. You're forgetting to mention something about Wednesday.
Wednesday. We have. Is Patrick? Oh yeah, Aurora. Our friend Pat Shannon.
Yes.
Is he going to be rocking with you on Wednesday?
Well, I was waiting for him at the rehearsal today. I
Wait a
never
minute.
saw his face.
Wait a minute. Wait a minute. So he wasn't in the studio today.
Somebody's getting laid off.
Oh, no. Oh, no. Well, you know what? Someone's going to have to beat him up on iMessage and text messaging and inboxing and all kinds of stuff. Oh, my God.
Oh, I also want to let people know on August 17th, I will be performing with my orchestra, Son del Barrio, over at Jazz on the Hudson. We're going to do a little salsa meets jazz, and on that day, it's a Sunday, and I got to tell you, this place is beautiful. It's in Poughkeepsie, but it's a 90-minute little trip away from New York. It's a beautiful spot, and it's a festival. People picnic, they barbecue on the grounds, they put up a tent. It's just
Wait. Did you just say that they barbecue on the ground?
On the grounds.
Well, not on the grounds.
Oh,
on
okay.
the grills.
Yeah. Okay.
When I said on the ground, I didn't mean on the ground. I meant on the grounds. Put an S on
I
that.
got you now. Okay.
But it's a beautiful spot. People go there. They hear jazz. I think Steve Teray is going to be there as well. There's going to be a few of the jazz groups. And then we're going to come in with special guest Chocolate Amenteros, who is 86 years old.
God bless,
and
God
the
bless.
Louis Armstrong of the Afro-Cuban trumpet. The man is still bad. He's going to be with us, and Nicky Majero is going to be with us, and we're going to do a special salute to Cheo Feliciano.
Oh, wow. Special tribute to Cheo Feliciano.
And it's on our website, which is zondelbarrio.com. That's Zondelbarrio with a Z, ZONDELBARRIO.com. Go on the events page. It'll give you all the info, the 411. You can sign up for the guest list, and you can like us on Facebook, or you could tweet us on Twitter, or you could watch us on YouTube.
Aurora, for this event on Wednesday, and kudos to you for that event coming up in August, but this event on Wednesday, is there a certain time that you would like to recommend people to be there? Because I know, is this going to be like last year's Ruben Blades event?
That was 2 years ago, but yes.
Okay,
and that's why
wow.
they're doing it on a Wednesday night. I would tell people to get there as early as possible, 2, 3 o'clock, make the line. They won't open the doors until 6:30, I can tell you that. But when those doors open, I'm sure that line is going to be already all around the block.
Okay, and you know what? I really want to thank you for tuning in, first and foremost. It means a lot to me, you know, and honestly, I don't know if anyone else is listening. Aurora Flores is not only a rockin', you know, salsa singer, she's also a kick-ass feminist. She's also an amazing publicist. She's also a salsa historian. She was the first female correspondent for Billboard magazine, focusing on the history of Latin music. So thank you very much for being that for us.
My check will be in the mail, Roman.
Wow,
We're going to have to get you here in the studio.
We do, Aurora. We got to get you in the studio with Son del Barrio.
Well, I've been really crazy busy this week because, you know, I've been with Larry and Omi, and it's just been nuts because I'm also doing his book at the same time. We're trying to release our CD, which I have 9 original tunes in there. 5 of them are mine. One of them I wrote for Son de Chocolate, and I got another great one for my dear friend Maelo, all about Portobello in Panama. But there's so many things going on, but let me know, and in between all of that, on several nights, I guess when I don't sleep, I'll come by.
There you go. We
That's
could do
great.
that. Schedule it on a Sunday, because that's when we're here. Every Sunday from
Look,
8
I
to
like the show. I love the format. I like what you're doing. I didn't even know you were doing this.
Oh, okay.
I don't hear from Roman. I get a text, call this number and be on the radio.
Well, he only does it
Okay.
every Sunday.
Yeah, it's only every Sunday. So I do like a text blast every Sunday. This is true.
Yeah, well, we had just come from rehearsal, and we had a great rehearsal today. Everyone was there. Everyone's excited. One of the coro singers, Benny Vargas, was in the original Omi in 1973, so he was sharing stories with us of all the shenanigans going on and what was going on backstage and how nervous Junior Gonzalez was. He was practically trembling, and it was just a great day. It was a great day for reminiscing all of that. So I was so delighted when I tuned in, and I said, that's got to be Ricky Gonzalez. And he's talking about Louis. And it was just great. It's been a perfect day.
Yeah. Well, thank you for the phone call. Once again, the event of Wednesday, time and place and where?
It is the reprisal of the salsa opera Omi, written by Larry Harlow and Renato Henny Alvarez. It will be this Wednesday, July 23rd. Show starts at 7:30. Doors open at 6:30 at Lincoln Center, out of doors, 63rd Street, and that's Broadway. But it's Damrosch Park, so it's the one closer to the projects near 9th Avenue.
Okay.
Beautiful.
And
Hope
that's
to
where
meet
the
you there. I'll
entrance is, so I
probably
think
be there.
that's where
We'll be
people
there.
will be starting to make the line.
Okay. Well, we'll be there, so I'm looking forward to meeting you.
Okie
Awesome.
dokie.
All right,
All
Aurora.
right.
Thank you
see
so
you
much. Que
guys.
Dios
Thanks
te
for calling,
bendiga.
Aurora.
Que Dios te bendiga.
Bye.
Take
Ciao.
care.
All right. Well, now here's one thing. Before I get into the other topic I'm about ready to get into, we're gonna take a quick, I would say, 5-minute break. Okay. Ladies and gentlemen, here is one of the many songs that Ricky worked with the artist named Raulín Rosendo.
Oh, wow. I love Raulín. Love Raulín.
And the name of the song is about a lady.
Oh.
Lady
Laura.
Laura.
Lady Laura.
All right, so pay attention to the song, because in the song, Raulín happens to mention Ricky.
Oh, well.
¿Sí?
I pay good money for that.
Y ahora vamos con el tema de Raulín Rosendo, Lady Laura.
Enjoy.
And listen to the words.
Tengo a veces deseos de ser nuevamente un chiquillo y a la hora que estoy afligido volverte a oír, de pedir que me abraces y lleves de vuelta a casa, que me cuentes un cuento bonito y me hagas dormir. Muchas veces quisiera oírte hablando, sonriendo. Aprovecha tu tiempo, tú eres aún chiquillo. A pesar de la distancia y el tiempo no puedo olvidar tantas cosas que a veces de ti necesito escuchar. Lady Laura, abrázame fuerte, Lady Laura. Hazme dormir, Lady Laura. Un beso otra vez, Lady Laura. Lady Laura, abrázame fuerte, Lady Laura. Cuéntame un cuento, Lady Laura. Un beso otra vez, Lady Laura. Cuando a veces me siento perdido durante la noche, con problemas y angustias que son de la gente mayor, con la mano apretando mi hombro seguro dirías, ya verás que mañana las cosas te salen mejor. Tengo a veces deseos de ser nuevamente un chiquillo, el pequeño que tú todavía aún crees tener. Cuando a veces te abrazo y te beso en silencio entendido, me dices aquello que yo necesito saber. Lady Laura, abrázame fuerte, Lady Laura. Cuéntame un cuento, Lady Laura. Un beso otra vez, Lady Laura. Lady Laura, abrázame fuerte, Lady Laura. Hazme dormir, Lady Laura. Un beso otra vez, Lady Laura. Nunca me voy a olvidar de Lady Laura. Nunca me voy a olvidar de mi madre querida, de Lady Laura. Nunca me voy a olvidar, no, de Lady Laura. Los cuentos que me hacía cuando pequeño y me arropaba en su falda. Nunca me voy a olvidar de Lady Laura. Cuando llegaba a mi casa llorando, las lágrimas me secaban, como mi hermano el Mayimbe. ¡Eso!
Bueno, there you go. That was Lady Laura con Raulín Rosendo. And obviously,
Tremenda canción.
our guest, Ricky Gonzalez.
Vaya.
En el
Tócalo,
piano.
Ricky.
Con sentimiento.
That's a good Raulín Rosendo impression.
Sí, sí.
That's very good.
Thank you. Ahora, briefly, before I start doing this, you know, you're not only with known with the artists, but there's something I need to know. There's something of Saturday Night Live, American Idol, Mad TV, Good Morning America, The Today Show, CBS Morning Show, Tonight Show with the Mr. Chin,
Oh,
Jay Leno.
yeah.
Yeah, and who can forget Rosie O'Donnell, The View. Let's see.
The list goes on and on, bro.
Yeah,
we'll
so-
be here till 11:30, and then we'll
Right,
continue
so-
the interview. Go on.
Give us a little info on the television shows that I mentioned just a little while ago.
Well, I was support. I was in the band with for Mark Anthony on a couple of occasions, and Jennifer on an occasion. We did SNL. We did Saturday Night Live. We did. But again, it's the luck of circumstance. I'm lucky to be in a situation where those artists have crossed over into that kind of a playing field,
Right.
and they're respected. And so, being part of their support team, I got a lot of really nice opportunities to be a part of that.
Right. Okay, now, let's see. I mean, you also were involved with not the actual movie itself per se.
Oh, like movie scores? Yeah. I mean, there was a time.
Two movies, also.
Couple, yeah, more.
Well, I mean, the ones that stand out right
Yeah.
now.
Oh, yeah.
Are for those of you that have
What
ever
do you-
watched the Mambo Kings.
Antonio Banderas and Armanda Sante.
Yes.
Amazing film.
Well, those came during a time when there was still there was a studio scene in New York, and we were making records, and I was lucky enough to be one of the guys that was always called for, for sessions.
Right.
And when those movies came along, we did the Mambo Kings. We did. I was in took
My
part-
Blue
My
Heaven.
Blue Heaven. Yes, Steve Martin.
See, I know.
I've
done my homework.
Good. You did your research, and so I got the chance to do some nice studio stuff for those movies.
I mean, how was it when you did it, though? I mean, like, how did you feel when you got the call?
You don't think about the movie. Remember, the movie, when you're doing the music for the movie,
But
the movie
I'm
hasn't
saying-
come out yet, so you
right.
don't know if it's going to be successful.
Well, no,
so-
I mean, insofar as that, wow, they're considering me for a movie, period, part,
You know
aspect
what?
of it.
That part was all business. It was just a job, like you
Yeah,
know.
but still, no,
But
but
I
that's
will
what I
say,
mean.
but I will say this: there was an interesting experience for the Mambo Kings.
Okay.
A story that not a lot of people know unless you were there.
Right.
The producer of the music was a man named Robert Kraft. Now,
Not the owner of the New England Patriots.
no. Although, you know what?
That's his name.
He might, because he went on to become the big cheese, the head of honcho, the president of music at Warner Brothers.
Okay.
Warner Brothers Pictures. I'm not even talking about Warner Brothers, the record label.
right.
I'm talking about the studio. He's a really big head honcho. And the nicest guy in the world.
Well, that's the same thing with the guy from the New England Patriots. He's supposed to be like a real nice guy.
I'm wondering if it's the same guy.
Well,
I don't know
you know
who
what you
owns
could
the
do?
Patriots.
Google image.
Yeah.
If you know what the guy looks
Yeah,
like.
yeah, I know what he looks
Google
like.
image him, Robert Kraft, and then you should.
Okay, well, I'll check that out. But
Yeah.
but the story is that he did something very, very interesting. You
Okay.
know, remember, this is a record executive. You know, and he's a musician. And he knows music, and he knows his stuff, and he's communicating with every musician in the studio very well. He knows, all the terminology. He knows what to do.
Right.
One of the sessions, because we did this throughout 3 days of sessions of recordings.
Okay.
On the second day, he called me at home, which is something that
It's almost
a record
unheard of.
Yeah, you don't. Yeah, he calls me at home and he says, "I'd like to try something for tomorrow's session. I'm going to set up some footage of a scene in a movie, and I want you to take a piano solo, and I want you to think Charlie Palmieri. I want you to think, because the movie obviously takes place during the Palladium era, and he says, I want you to watch the movie and improvise a solo, around their dance moves." I'm like, wow, that's really interesting. And the fact that he would even confide in me, call me at home and ask me my opinion, I was floored, and he was so cool about it.
Right.
And we went in the next day, and one of the nicest experiences and one of the most creative was sitting and watching on a monitor and improvising whatever the scene was. And it was a scene in a dance hall, and Antonio Banderas takes his girl out to dance.
Right.
And well, actually, it was a dance scene, and I was supposed to play a piano to emulate the emotion of the scene, and it was so cool, and it was so nice of Mr. Kraft to allow me that. So if he's listening, I took a very nice experience. I walked away feeling very nice about that experience.
Okay, now talking about a song now.
Yeah.
That I'm looking at right now. The name of the song, Ya Era Tiempo.
Okay.
Tell us about Ya Era Tiempo.
Ya Era Tiempo is a song that's on my a CD that I put out under my name. Oasis. And it came out actually just about 10 years ago. So I'm kind of overdue for one. Ya es tiempo.
Mira, it's funny you said 10 years ago because last week we had Ravel here. Okay?
Oh, wow.
Yeah,
Nice.
we had Ravel, and he was saying that it's funny that he has been recording almost every 10 years.
Yeah.
An album.
Yeah.
So it's funny that he says it, and now you're saying that it was about 10 years ago that you
Yeah.
recorded the Oasis album.
Yeah.
And now you're due for yours. So,
Yeah.
como que esto está...
Bueno, lo que está pasando es que
Estamos esperando cada 10 años.
No es intencional. On the
That's how
contrary.
long it takes the budgets to get put together for these albums.
Well, not for Mr. Ricky Gonzalez.
There are no budgets.
That's what they're telling you, bro.
Well, the reason,
Go look at their cars and their homes.
Yeah, well, the reason, Rome is great. I love it. But you know what? I save a lot of money because I don't have to hire a producer or an arranger or a piano player. And
Kanye West in it. That's what I said.
Yeah, Prince too, man. You keep
There
forgetting
you
Prince
go.
did the same thing
yeah.
too.
I also do windows, scrub toilets, but
Pa que tú lo sepas.
But the point is, that was more of a. The reason I didn't continue is because, again, I've been blessed to keep getting those phone calls, and I keep getting calls to produce other artists, and
And you're generally busy doing those
yeah,
things.
and between that and touring, it pretty much takes up all the time, and so I finally committed this year to complete 4 projects of my own.
Wow.
All within the tropical genre, but all with subgenres.
Okay.
So they're all going to be varied and they're all going to be different.
All right. So now, before I get into playing Ya Era Tiempo, real quickly, in the chat room, you can take a look in the chat room.
I see.
Nessa is
That's
asking
a great
you a
question. A very great question. And basically, she wants to know if there has ever been an arrangement or something that you've done that has pushed the boundaries of the industry. Something that has probably made you scratch your brain and say, if I do this, I might be revolutionizing the genre.
That I've done or that
Yeah,
others
you.
that
No, you.
that others have done. It's funny because, and that's a great question, Nessa. I haven't. See, when you get hired to produce another artist, you have to stay sort of true to what their essence is, and respect what their audience, has been.
Follow them for.
Yeah, follow them for. Exactly. That's a good. Thank you. And so, yes, I do my little thing, but I try to. It's like being a tailor. And it's like, Roman hires me to be his tailor. Yo le tomo la medida, and I check the sleeves, I check the length of this and that, and I make a suit that's tailored to him. Obviously, I'm going to give it my own flair, but that's how producing is. You produce a record for whoever it is, for Gilberto or for Canario or whoever, and it's always, you try to stick to the essence of what that artist is, and then you throw in your little thing creatively, but nothing earth-shattering so that it becomes about you. That's Robert Kraft.
Yeah, it's not the same Robert Kraft that
Okay.
owns the team.
Yeah,
But
that's the man.
I see it. I see it. Yeah.
But
I'm doing my job.
But I will say this. In terms of to respond to Nessa's question, that's what I'm doing with my projects right now, because I'm an open book at this point. I can fill it with whatever words I want, and I don't have the constraints of having to please an audience, because I don't necessarily have one particular audience.
Right.
And so, because of the variety in my musical tastes, and because I can produce my own records, and my experience doing that allows me to just, hey, I can write my own book. And so, yeah, that, Nessa, to answer your question, that's what's going to be happening this year.
Very good. Congratulations. And
Thank you for the
things like
question.
that resurge a genre, that resurge the passion into things. Because, yeah, we have a whole different conscious of what people love today as salsa.
Yeah.
I'm going to say,
Yeah.
you know, it's not that I'm knocking the salsa that's coming out of DR. I'm just saying, you know what? We got to switch up the tempos. Don't keep it just there because it's only getting faster and faster and
Yeah.
faster.
Yeah.
And now, you know what we're going to do? We're going to play that song, Ya Era Tiempo.
Okay.
Why don't you give us the introduction to the song? Be Mr. DJ.
Well, that's a song I actually wrote. I wrote the lyrics and the music to that one.
Okay.
I don't consider myself a profound lyricist, but that one in particular I did write.
And who did the vocals?
Ray Viera did the vocals on this
Okay.
one. Yeah, yeah. Excellent singer and beautiful person. So enjoy. Ya Era Tiempo.
Mira la hora que es y el hombre no llega. Tus amigos todos se reunieron. Allí todos compartimos recuerdos del ayer. Los buenos ratos que pasamos, también las veces
Ya era tiempo con Ricky Gonzalez. Wow.
Tremenda rumba,
Yo,
bro.
that was
Tremenda
bad. That was
rumba.
bad. Thank you.
I
That
wanted
was
to dance. There's no girls here.
Bueno, tú eres la muchacha porque tienes el,
No. No, don't go there. Don't go there.
Yo tenía moño.
Oh, no, wait a minute. You know what? We had, no, that wasn't last week that we had Ravel. It was the week before. I'm sorry. Biloba and Lexico was here last week.
Yes.
Now, there was a group that was called, Biloba and Lexico, Loud Noise. And the thing is, my co-host, Pat, had asked them a question.
Yeah.
And said, if you were in jail, which one of us would you, shag up with? But you had to pick one of us. The two guys.
This is the winning streak. This is the winning streak that I don't want. But whatever.
Unanimously picked the one and the only Roman S.
Between Pat, between Eric, and myself.
Of the three of us,
yes,
they were asked which one would you be,
If you had to do 20 years in jail, who would you rather spend those 20 years
and
with?
you got to remember that you're going to be shagging up with them too. Who would it be?
Oh, you're not asking me this question.
He is asking me this question.
No, you're not asking.
Yes,
you're not
I
asking
am.
this. No,
you
no,
have
no.
to answer the question.
Nobody.
No,
That's the truth.
Just be a
I work in a
sport, Ricky.
solitary business.
Ricky.
No, I can't do that. This is how rumors
You
get
have a
started.
choice. You have a
This
choice.
is how rumors get started.
Okay, so then here's how it works then. Let's switch up the question a little bit. Let's not make it sound so homoerotic. All right? So what I need you to do is before you answer, you grab the mic with both hands.
Oh, my God.
Ha entrenado bien el tipo.
Ay,
Now
ay,
listen.
ay.
So, deserted island. We're on a plane. Eric and myself, we're on a plane. Bam. We get one of those, what was the name of that movie with
Tom Hanks?
Yeah, with Tom Hanks.
With Wilson!
Yes, with Wilson.
Was it Found?
No.
What was it called?
Castaway.
Castaway. There you
Very
go.
good.
Because I didn't want to say Lost. Anyway, so let's say we
That was
wind
a
up.
TV show, man.
But let's say we wind up on a deserted island.
Yeah,
You
it's
have a
not-
choice.
it's-
As a producer, as a pianist, right? As what you are, would you rather be stuck with the DJ or the salsero historian?
As long as I don't have to fuck you.
No, you don't. We don't have to go there. We're Latinos. We don't do those things.
Thank you. No, that has nothing to do with anything.
We
that's
somos
not true.
hombre.
There's room for
There's room
everyone.
for everything.
No. I mean, I'd have a great time talking with both of you and learning things.
This guy is so political, bro. He's such a politician.
Bueno, olvídate de eso. Vamos a hablar del estado en cual vivimos nosotros.
What happened to my career? How did I wind up in the mix like this? What? I was doing so well.
One moment I'm at the Grammys.
The next moment I'm in
the Red Room.
What do you call those places with the holes in the wall?
Oh, glory hole.
Oh, wow. We're going there.
Oh, you know. Apparently,
Yeah,
you know.
Everybody in the chat room, go right now and Google glory holes, courtesy of DJ Eric and La Mezcla.
I had to be the one being the stunt man to be the one inside where I had to, talk about the state of New York by Ricky Gonzalez.
Oh, okay.
See, you see,
wow, we're back.
See,
Okay,
you see how I'm looping it up, right?
And we're back.
Exactly. He's like,
This is
gracias a Dios.
Sí. No, I just didn't know where it was going.
Bueno, el tema que estamos hablando ahora se llama Es mi Nueva York. All right? It's my New York. Why is it your New York?
It belongs to all of us. The song was written. I actually wrote that lyric as well, and that speaks to the strength of New York, particularly after 9/11. I wrote that about 2 years after the event. I wanted to leave some time. It was a very, very, very tough time for New Yorkers. And the experience, stays with us even to this day. But more than that, and the reason I wrote the song is to commemorate the strength that New Yorkers showed during that time. Compassion for each other and everything that made us strong as a state and makes this country strong as a nation. That event proved it. That was kind of the test. And so I wrote that song in honor of that.
Okay. And doing the vocals on this?
is a young man by the name of Germán Oliveras, who you all know from
One of my favorites.
I actually have his latest song too.
Ah,
I
nice.
love that guy. I saw him for Mother's Day a couple years ago at Empire City.
Yeah,
He
he's
has
one
a
of the
great
greats.
album.
No,
Great
he's one of the
album.
greats. He's one of those.
Well, I was lucky to say that I can say that I had the privilege of seeing him live when I was working at the Wild Palm.
Oh, awesome.
So
Yeah.
You know
Germán
what?
is,
Real quick, of today's salseros, non-famous, like the ones that are not like in the mainstream, which one has your favorite voice? Like which one of them has the voice that you favor the most?
It depends on your definition of famous, but I mean, I don't know if I happen to like
non-commercialized.
Non-commercial. Frankie Vasquez is a really
Frankie Vasquez?
Yeah, he's one of my good friends and inspirations. You know, when I write for him,
Like what song? What song you think?
Oh gosh,
he
I
hits
mean,
it home with.
We worked together on. We produced a bunch of stuff. Frankie's on this record, on my record, and we also worked together on Soneros del Barrio. All those projects.
That's the one, my brother.
Yeah.
I love that album, bro.
Frankie's an amazing singer. Germán again is again depending on your definition of what famous is. A lot of people consider Germán famous already.
When I mean famous, I mean like non-commercial. Like the
Non-commercial,
guys,
yeah.
these bonitillos that they put on TV all the time.
Certainly Germán is in he's one of the greats.
I love, Frankie
and
Vasquez, shout out to you, my brother. I want to do a comedy show for all those salseros.
Ah, nice.
For the salseros, with the salseros.
And we'll open up for you.
You know what? That
We'll
would be
open the
beautiful.
show.
Vamos a hacerlo. Vamos a hacerlo. Yeah, because we just spoke about glory holes and all. All right, so
Yeah.
back to the music. back
And
to the
we're
music.
gonna open up the song right now. Introduce the song, Papa.
Es mi Nueva York, Ricky Gonzalez. Enjoy.
Que Nueva York tiene sabrosura.
Nueva York, ciudad de rascacielos, en el mundo entero, como tú no hay dos. Nueva York, ciudad que nunca duerme, tu viveza y tu cultura inspiran al trovador. Edificios que llegan hasta el sol, símbolos del optimismo de realizar una vida mejor. Aunque la calle esté dura, como ninguna es Nueva York. Una ciudad de espinas y de rosas, guerreros y poetas, de gente trabajadora. Nueva York, creo en cada ladrillo, nostalgia y esperanza, sueños y desilusión. Edificios que llegan hasta el sol, símbolos de tu grandeza, obra maestra de acero y hormigón. Aunque la calle esté dura, como ninguna es Nueva York.
Ese día de septiembre oscuro y triste,
En un acto incomprensible te causaron gran dolor. Fuerte el golpe y la herida profunda, pero te levantaste y respondiste con valor.
no pudieron apagar tu alma.
Su luz seguirá alumbrando con nobleza y con honor. Mil historias llevas guardada de triunfos y fracasos, de memoria y del olvido, de una promesa cumplida. Esa es Nueva York, así es Nueva York, es mi Nueva York.
Nueva York, siempre estamos contigo, pa'lante Nueva York.
Nueva York querido, mi paraíso de acero, hoy tus hijos te cantamos de corazón, por lo mucho que te queremos.
Nueva York, siempre estamos contigo.
York.
A coro.
Ese es Nueva York.
Para todo aquel que sueña con un futuro mejor. Es la ciudad que nunca duerme, la que inspira el trovador. Todo el mundo. Vaya, esto va para ti, neoyorquino, para el que sueña y lucha, lucha por su familia. Y esos 5 condados, esos distintos sabores que son mi Nueva York. ¡Sí!
Y ese es mi Nueva York.
Tremendo tema. Thank you very much. As a son of New York, I really do thank you for putting this song up.
Oh
It's
man,
just amazing.
It was a labor of love. Oh, and by the way, the rap on that was Fresco, el hijo de Frankie Vázquez.
No way.
Sí, sí,
Yeah?
sí. Yeah, he's an amazing rapper.
Wow.
I can't wait to work with him again. Yeah, he's
Wow.
awesome.
Okay, now, and also, you know what, I was looking at your discography over
Uh-huh.
here. You've also worked with Vanessa Williams.
Yeah. Yeah.
The Real Thing.
Yeah, she put. What year was that? I'm guessing 2010, 2011. Yeah, she was a wonderful singer, amazing person, super humble, super nice, and it was a nice experience. I got to work alongside producer Rob Mathis on that one, and that one came out on Concord, on the
Okay.
Concord label. That was her. I believe it was the last record that she put out 1 or 2 years ago.
Okay, now also, para aquellos bachateros.
Aventura.
Yep.
I saw that. He worked with Aventura.
Yes, sir.
On the last.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Bananas. Yeah. So
Let me find out.
All right. So was it the whole entire album for the last?
No, they did a salsa track, and
That's the one with Mark.
no, that's a current one. That's
Okay.
something that
No,
just came
but
out.
wasn't there one that they did also with Mark?
With
too?
Mark, yeah, that recently came out.
No, I'm talking
Aventura
about
did a salsa track?
Yeah.
That is
Yeah.
all new to me.
It's called Yo También. I
Yo
think.
también se llama.
Yeah.
Sí, eso lo acaban de hacer, and it was
Yeah.
just released not that long ago. And in fact, we did it at Yankee Stadium last weekend.
Right.
We the band, Mark Anthony's band went and sat in with
Aventura.
Not with Aventura,
Oh,
with
with
Romeo
Romeo.
Santos.
Aventura,
Yeah,
just
we
to be
gotta say
clear,
it correctly.
Aventura is a karaoke band now.
Oh.
Okay? It's Romeo.
So anyway, so we did it that night, and they sang a beautiful duet together. But no, the thing on Aventura's last album was another salsa track that they decided to cover, and they got some salsa cats.
Did you remember the name of the song or no? You don't?
I'd be lying to you if I told you I remember.
All right, no, it's fine. It's fine. And also, you worked with Jose Alberto El Canario. There's a song in there of one of my favorites from what I'm seeing. Llegó la hora.
Yeah, Canario and I have a very long and prosperous relationship when it comes to music. He's,
Mira, next time
ese
that
mi
you come,
hermano.
next time you come here, I'm gonna put you on the spot.
Uh-huh.
Are you down to make a prank phone call?
Yeah.
To one of these guys?
Sure.
Either Jose Alberto.
Oh my God.
And Willie Colon.
Maybe not Willie.
Yeah, not Willie.
Why?
I'm scared of Willie.
Yeah.
I'm not.
Well, you don't have to work with him later.
Well, that's okay.
Are you
okay.
going to be part of his concert at Lehman?
I did. What?
He has a concert coming up at Lehman.
Does he?
Yeah.
No, I'm afraid not.
Okay,
I haven't worked
okay.
with Willie in a while. Our schedules just don't.
Everyone's afraid of Willie, though. I wonder, what does he
Coincide.
turn into, like Heckle and Jive?
No.
Like
I just,
Jekyll and Hyde or something?
No. And I kid you when I say I'm afraid of him. I there's some people you can joke with.
You don't wanna joke with Willie.
Hay alguna gente que no. I'd
Right.
rather not joke.
They
There's
can't take the joke.
No, I didn't say that. I have actually a lot of respect for Willie, and I wouldn't go there.
Let
This
me ask
guy's
you,
awesome.
okay,
He
here's
should be
a
like my
question.
PR guy, 'cause
All right,
he'll
here's a
fix
question.
everything for me.
Because a lot of people will want to know more about Mark. So you're between the three of us, you're the encyclopedia about Mark right now. So of the three of us,
compared to the other two guys in the room, I know a little bit more.
Yeah,
maybe.
So that's what I'm saying. So all right,
I know he's Puerto Rican.
I know he sings.
There you go.
I know he's rich.
He was married to somebody famous, right?
Yes. Yeah.
Really famous.
Actually, a couple of famous chicks, not just one. Because I
That-
consider
exactly, see?
That's true.
Dejanara very famous.
Now,
Yeah.
would he be able to take a joke or no?
I'm sure he would.
Of
but,
course.
But
No, because not everybody's like
I'm
that.
sure he would, but I'm his employee.
Yeah, I know, I know.
And he's a beautiful cat, but I would not go there with my boss.
Okay, got you.
You
got
know,
you.
I love the guy.
Did you
but I
see
wouldn't
his?
do it. I
I'm
wouldn't
sorry.
do
Did you see the sketch that he did with the skit that he did with George Lopez?
Yes, I did.
That was fantastic.
Oh yeah, yeah.
That
yeah, I
made
saw
my
that,
respect
yeah.
for him go to a whole
Yeah.
other level.
Oh no, he's a prankster. He's
there you go.
he's very funny. You know,
As long as he's cued in on it, of course, I'm gathering. Because, you know, if it's done to him without knowing, it's a whole different ball game.
I wouldn't say that. I think he's got a really good sense of humor. He's got a
Okay.
really big sense of humor.
All right.
I just, again, there are lines that I don't cross just because you don't. you
Right.
know, but I love the guy. He's
Okay.
a beautiful human being.
Now, you also worked with Rosalyn Sanchez.
Oh,
Esa-
God.
Una bella mujer.
She's a wonderful actress, and
And she
she
is
was working on a
beautiful.
music project, and I
Beautiful
was
woman.
involved in that production.
God,
you wanna
is
know?
she beautiful.
Well, yeah, but
Victor Manuel, I hate you for that.
well, even more than the outside beauty, she's got this inner beauty.
I'm
about
guessing
her.
so because
You want to know just how much? 3 and change in the morning. We're in the studio,
Right.
and she goes out for a donut run for us.
get out of here.
She goes and
Such
goes.
a gorgeous
yeah.
woman. God bless her.
She went out at 3 in the morning to get us all donuts.
Wow,
while we
that is
worked
hot.
through the night.
That's hot.
Yeah, not just beautiful experience. She's really cool.
Okay.
So we have a whole list of everyone that he's worked with.
Right,
You know what?
well-
Let me ask him a real quick one.
Yeah, go ahead.
Of today's artists,
Uh-huh.
who would you like to work with? One male, a guy that you would like to work with.
See, he's going
It
there.
could be Americano, non-Americano. One.
Oh,
a
wow,
dude.
that's a really good question, but it's
One that you obviously haven't worked with yet.
Yes.
Bruno Mars.
Bruno Mars. High five. This is my man right here. I love Bruno
Bruno
Mars.
Mars.
Okay.
I would
And
love
now,
You can't ask me that question.
female-wise.
I miss working with Jennifer.
With J-Lo?
Yeah, I miss.
But you
she
have
was
worked
re-
with her already.
Yeah,
Let's
yeah,
say
yeah.
somebody else.
She was really great. to
Like,
work
let's say
with.
like a Lady Gaga or
That's a tough one.
that Janae Aiko girl that everyone's dying over.
That's a tough one. I like Janelle Monáe,
Okay.
but
You don't like Lady Gaga?
I do. But I like Janelle Monáe.
She's a pianist as well.
But
you
the
know
thing
that?
about Janelle is that I enjoy her music so much that I can't even. I'm not even thinking in terms of what I could do to improve any of that. I would just enjoy.
I
listening.
think you would rock with Alicia Keys.
Yeah, that's another
I
person
think
I'd
that's
love to
totally
work.
rock
I'd
with
love to
Alicia
work with
Keys.
Alicia. Sure.
All right. Well, ladies and gentlemen, sadly enough, all good things come to an end.
Oh man.
Can we do a second part? Someday?
Yeah, we can. You just let us know when you're available.
Okay.
We should
When
have
we're
a
back
Ricky
in November.
Gonzalez
In November.
uncensored. A Ricky Gonzalez uncensored.
I thought we
session.
were uncensored. I
Well,
didn't-
no, because I
Fucking
ain't
guy,
go
man.
there. I ain't go there.
Oh, okay.
I was trying
Fucking
to go there.
guy, man.
I don't know what the fuck you're talking about.
Well, Ricky, thank you for stopping by.
Thank you for
gracing
having
us
me.
here at In the Mix Radio.
Listen, we had an hour and a half phone conversation the other day, and we can do this all day. I really
Yes.
enjoyed your company. Roman, I just met you, but I feel like we know each other 30 years.
Thank you, my brother.
Your alter ego.
I appreciate my evil twin.
Yeah.
I appreciate the the questions and being asked about these things and there's a lot to this music. It's the culture it's a beautiful culture. I love to share my thoughts and whatever my experiences have been with you guys and with the audience and I hope we can do it again. I really do.
Quickly, one last question.
Yes.
In 2 minutes or less. If you were able to change salsa music right now, what would you think would be the best way of doing it? 2 minutes or less.
Couple of things. Start, first of all, with songs that tell stories. We've gotten away from that. Ruben Blades was an excellent storyteller.
Mhm.
And a lot of the reason for the success, not just when he was with Willie, but even on his own,
Right.
is that he tells stories. He
Mhm.
tells novelas. And Latinos, we love our stories. And I think people in general like to follow a thread, a story. And I think that we've lost that. I would focus on bringing some of that back.
Okay.
I'd also want to offer an audience a variety, not just the same thing. There was a time when you can have a record, a salsa record, and have an up-tempo thing, and then that'll be followed by something slower, maybe a bolero, maybe a merengue, maybe, just vary it up, because this music is so rich and so full of different influences that it's sad for me to hear a record where it's all one style, all one tempo, all one thing, when there's so many colors to this. And so I would personally focus on that. I mean, my records, my upcoming projects are going to be all about that.
Good.
About that variety.
Good.
And about stories and lyrics. And I also want to, lastly, I think that as the generations continue, we have other influences.
Mhm.
We listen to Katy Perry, we listen to Lady Gaga, we listen to Bruno Mars, and not just Imael Rivera and Barreto y Celia. And so I think that we should allow our other influences to blend. The same way we allow them as people. Our iPods don't just have one style of music.
Right.
And so the music that we produce, the music we listen to should reflect that as well. And so that would be my goal as a producer. And that's what I would like to see happen.
All right. Well, thank you. And again, thank you for blessing us here on In the Mix Radio,
man.
Picante Time.
It's my pleasure, really. It was my joy. I'd love to do it again.
And well, like I said, doors are open for you anytime. We hope to see you here in November.
Okay.
Yeah.
November.
For those, just to let everybody in on the joke, I go on tour and we're not scheduled to be back until November.
So there you go.
So there you are.
All right. So you got anything to close out with?
Yes. Well, first and foremost, I want to thank everybody who was in the chat room. I want to thank everybody that was listening to us, although they were not in the chat room. And I want to thank everybody who did get the In the Mix Radio app. At the same time, my name is Romanes, also known as The Funny Latino. Please visit me on funnylatino.com. Visit me on Instagram at The Funny Latino or on Twitter at Funny Latino. And at the same time, I want to also invite you to my show this Saturday, the 26th, with Ruperto Vanderpool, Rob Santos, and a couple of other surprise comedians, live and direct from Springfield, Massachusetts, the Beer Garden. Also, look for me on YouTube, Funny Latino, or Laugh One Out. With that being said, I want to say thank you to DJ Eric and La Mezcla, and I also want to send a big shout out to Mr. Connolly, and I want to send a big shout out to Mr. Patrick Shannon.
Yes, sir.
And a very big kudos, and a hug is coming soon. A
Ten
bromance
cuidado.
just started
Ten
today.
cuidado.
Funny how.
Ricky Gonzalez. All right, un fuerte
Yes.
aplauso
Vaya,
y una
Roman,
gracias
thank
muy
you.
grande por estar con nosotros aquí en el estudio.
It
For
was
real,
my pleasure.
thank you
It was
so
my-
very much, my brother.
I kept wanting to interject. Funny how. That's
Funny
my-
how. You
that's my
could.
best
We could go.
passion.
We go. Like you amuse me. Like
Like a clown? What am I?
You stay there and you amuse me.
Well, thank you guys. I really appreciate you having me here. And to everyone in the chat room and in the audience. My
Shout
pleasure.
out Christian Aspiazu.
All right.
Whoa.
And well, God bless everybody. Have a safe week, and we'll see you here next week with our very special guest, which you'll know during the week. All right?
Awesome.
Until then, God bless. Nos vemos. Ricky, any last messages for everybody?
See ya.
That's all, folks.